teams have just played without picking any of those operators. I think that's that's very doable. They know who the ops are that they can and can't play, and we'll see what the teams decide. There's also a 6th pick onto the Blitz yet again. So obviously with a rehost, the round right after a rehost, you have to go to the same site, you have to pick the same operators. So there was no way for them to be able to get out of that one, but it looks like we're just going to play on. So they're the players obviously will do battle under a gentleman's agreement of sort, and they won't pick Maverick, Thermite, Mira, or Clash.
Yeah, I think that's fine, you know, as long as their memory holds up. The only difficulty there is that, say, random scenario, we see one of the band operators get picked. Man, I gotta imagine the ruling on how that's gonna be. So we just, it's gonna be confusing if we ever get there. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. Fingers crossed. Now, bottom floor defense. Once more, a 6th pick onto the Blitz for Mint. An abundance of soft destruction here. Only hard destruction available. It's still a kitchen defense, though. I talked about it earlier when we're going through the ban phase. This site is going to be exceptionally difficult to attack with only one hard destructor. And it has proven to be just that so far.
It was Dark Zero who had that second ban for attack, by the way. So them banning the Thermite means that they knew that the Maverick ban was already in play, right? They're the ones that knew that they could play around it. So they shouldn't have as much of a struggle as you'd expect. But, I mean, we've seen teams ban operators that have been quite detrimental to that team's success. So sometimes you can theory craft all you want, but theory is only half of the battle, and you have to actually do it in practice. So anyway, first time that we saw a kitchen take from Dark Zero. They were very strong on that top floor, and well, there's going to be early action right now as Mert gets punished, Geo a refrag, and now the shield comes out, but a missed opportunity as Chalet gets away with 25 HP, and Dark Zero finds themselves trailing. But this is a very quick round, and there's a sense of urgency from Dark Zero coming out, as we are still over half of the round to go. 3 people dead in the server right now, and as I pointed out, advantage in favor of TSM.
Still very winnable for DZ, though. They got the control that they were vying for. They're going to be able to open up the prep wall, but not the actual bakery wall.
I'm back. I've just changed the name of the stream. It hasn't come up on my screen yet, where I'm monitoring the chat.
Easier said than done.
None of you have jumped in yet, so I'll say this in the chat. I've just updated the name just while there was a break, so you lost a little bit of footage, but we're back now. It came in just before the round started, I believe. So please jump back in. I'll be sure to keep an eye on the chat. I'll be known when you guys jump in. But everyone who has subscribed and got me from 294 to 297 in the space of the last sort of like 20 minutes or so, thank you so much for subscribing. Please get me to 300, guys. I'm nearly there. There's 3 more subs to go. Just let's hit that 300 mark. In fact, let's go beyond that. Let's hit the 350 mark if we can. Get other people to come in and look at the stream. At the minute, it's the final of TSM versus Dark Zero. There should be a reveal, from what I understand in the chat, the reveal is after map 2. We're currently on map 1 on Cafe. Thanks, guys. I'll come back when everyone rejoins.
Lead goes back to
or everyone
TSM.
joins in the chat.
Back and forth they go. On defense, at worst, TSM will tie. That's pretty close. Cafe, you often see those 4-2 scorelines, still very much doable.
Yeah, I think that even, a 4-2 is not going to be the end of the world for DZ. They're coming close a lot of these rounds. That round, let's see. Most of that, I think, comes down to Bolo's play. He got 2 very impactful kills. I know we say his name a lot, but I do think that he was the sole reason that TSM was able to retake the site. He did some massive things there. First thing he did was he got the kill on the player inside of Prep. I believe that was Eclipse. Not too certain about that, but either way, he got the player on the player in Prep. Or he got the kill on the player in Prep, pardon me. Now that's massive because it opens up a take into this A site for the defense. And that's what allowed Bandit to push the planter and get his kill. And you get that done, and it's all on Hyper. He's playing on an off angle, and he's not going to be able to hard hold the bomb site itself. Not going to be easy for him to retake in that scenario through the rotation. Hyper starts to panic. He's got to reposition, and Bolo actually masterfully goes to the last place Hyper expected him to go to. You could see Hyper check red stairs. He started getting shot. He checked brown stairs. And then where was Bolo? He's in the site. He came down from white stairs. The last place, again, Hyper was anticipating. So I think he just had a masterful round. And, you know, I don't think it's necessarily, you know, over talking about Bolo, but darn, man, he did really clutch that one up big for his team.
Also erased our Chalet stats. I don't believe he's broken double digits officially. I think he'd be at 9 kills, if I remember correctly. Some of them were impactless. Let's get that out of the way. I think he got 2 or 3 kills as Maestro that one round where they still lost. And honestly, your KD isn't the be-all, end-all. Depends on your role. Depends on how big you're coming up in rounds here. There really hasn't been a poor performer, I would say, for either of these teams up till this point. Though Eclipse has been a little quieter than we saw out of him the last 2 days, but I mean, I don't, over a best of 5, of which we will play 4 maps, the minimum we'll play 2, I suppose, but I expect him to wake up at some point.
Yeah, usually with these kinds of marathon matches, you're going to see players have a bad map here and there, and then suddenly they come alive. You know, one thing to consider is that every single player in this lobby is deserving of being here. That's why they are here. It's not as if DZ or TSM have these low standards where they just let anybody play for them. There's a lot that goes into someone getting to this point. A lot. And I think it was, you know, part of the note that was touched on in the in Veli's coach segment. Aggressive peek there from Bolo. He'll lose a lot of HP as a result. Does a little bit in turn, I believe, to Hot and Cold, but yes, really strong favor there to DZ.
TSM might think that the walls are starting to close in on them here as they are defending that same reading dining bomb site on their very final defense before these teams swap sides. And this is a familiar one. It was only played once by TSM just a couple rounds ago, and they did a strong job of being able to keep on it. And most of that was their control of that third floor. This time they've conceded the third floor a little bit earlier and have fallen back closer into the heart of the site. And if they're not on the bomb site, then they're at least pretty damn close. The thing that they're going to have to tussle with is that Montaigne has pushed his way towards white stairs and is waiting just for somebody on TSM to slip up. He's also giving coverage to allow Skies to just demolish the entire floor of Cocktail, joined in arm in arm by Hot and Cold. And there's plenty of swings of that sledgehammer still left. Houghton attempting a default plant in reading. Everybody knows where that tends to be. Hyper drops, and it's a repeat, but Merc is able to catch him out. A C4 will connect with Hot and Cold, so that's the diffuser surrendered by Dark Zero as TSM has found 3 kills now, 2 Dark Zeros, 1. Things look like they were shaping up quite effectively for DZ after that initial skirmish, but it's been all TSM since then. And Skies gets shot in the back, a crossfire, multiple angles as the C4 gets tossed out. And Geo will be the one to complete the sweep for TSM. The first half is over. TSM takes it 4-2 as we come to expect when you're playing on Cafe on defense. It's Dark Zero's turn on defense. TSM will go to attack.
All right. So 4-2 as discussed, as you just mentioned, that's not that bad for Dark Zero. Dark Zero clearly had a problem attacking onto reading. That was a huge struggle for them time and time again. Kitchen was also very difficult. And I think that a big part of that is going to come down to the hard destruction. Now, you mentioned how TSM were the second ones to ban, and thus they were the ones to double down on the hard destruction, double ban. And TSM, as a result, should know how to deal with this. But as has been talked about, that's not always the case, and we've seen teams think they know something in practice, and then when it comes to the actual match, it cannot be the case. So we'll see how TSM handles this kitchen defense from Dark Zero. Hard destruction, again, going to be such a massive factor here. On the denial front, we've got a Mute and a Bandit. No Kaid being brought. Now, the Mute is probably going to pre-place some jammers on the walls. Though, since Thatcher is in play, it's really on Bandit to deny the walls actually getting opened up. Drop down's getting reinforced by DZ, and they're also going to reinforce the set of walls instead of reading. This is suggesting a roam. Another thing that will suggest a roam is the Mozzie. He's going to be putting his pests upstairs to deny the drones, clearing out, getting information on that middle floor. And that's going to slow down TSM if they commit to a middle floor take.
One thing I do want to bring up in terms of stats, by the way, now that we switch sides, is Dark Zero tends to excel really hard on their attacks. This is a number that is trumpeted quite often. We like to reference it because most people would contend that the majority of maps in the map pool are very favorable to the defenders, and that I think going back every single season of professional play I've casted, the only season where the attackers have had a net win percentage was the Lion season. It was the first season of Lion. I think it was like 54 to 46% or something along those lines. So the fact that Dark Zero is able to do so well on attack is great. Obviously, they take 2 rounds attacking on Cafe. Their map against TSM, that's not so great. Obviously, they're going to have the benefit of a map now working in their favor, but at the same time, DZ has shown that their defenses haven't exactly been as strong as their counterparts in the region. So if TSM can take a couple rounds or 2, I think that might be enough to put a knife in the heart of Dark Zero's chances on Cafe.
Yeah, and that'll even us out to 1-1 on the maps.
Clean slate.
Yeah, the clean slate. Of course, if you haven't been here, this is map number 1 for play, but Dark Zero get that auto map victory since they came in from the upper bracket. This is as a result of Dark Zero obviously beating TSM earlier. Now, Merc has positioned himself in coat check. He could actually do so much work from here. Skies is probing. It seems like DZ's aware. 2 SMG-11s, though, they got to be careful. They really need to land their shots. Limited ammunition in those magazines. And they're both still testing Merc. Meanwhile, the roam clear upstairs is trying to open up some holes. Chalet will get eclipsed, so Mozzie done. That was one of the roamers. Mint is going to win the fight against Merc that we were seeing earlier downstairs, and Merc paying respect where it's due. Now, there's not a lot of time left for the attack to hit the site, and they haven't really accomplished as much as I think they'd hoped they had. They at least got the roamer. That will be big. They don't need to worry as much about the holes above. That'll allow them, I think, a little bit easier access to this tiny hole that was made by Geo.
Hot and Cold is itching for a fight through that opening that you'd mentioned, and while he's going to need to just hold off the troops from TSM, he'll be aided by one of those toxic canisters being deployed by Skies. He's got 2 left in 20 seconds. That means that you'll be able to blanket the remaining timer. Just narrowly evading the frag grenade is the Hot and Cold once again on his belly. We talked about how important he was going to be, and he's the first line of defense. But right now, TSM just bursts on in. They get so many kills, but pistol out, Hot and Cold is going to clutch. What a huge play from Hot and Cold. And he's not the first line of defense. He's the last, Michael. What a showing from him in the dying seconds of the round, and Dark Zero take it.
What a moment for Hot and Cold. The man who they say his name speaks for itself. In this moment, he was certainly hot. And geez, what a round to take there. Now, it's actually kind of a bit of a throwback, Parker, because Cafe has been Hot and Cold's best map since before it got reworked. Like, I don't know what it is about Hotton on this map. Even, again, way back in early days, we're talking first year. I don't know why, he just plays well here. Hot and Cold always plays well on Cafe. And in that moment, Hot and Cold just single-handedly won a round for his team and changed the entire landscape of this map. All of the possibilities have shifted. Well done to him, and congratulations to Dark Zero. Beautiful play there.
What was it? I remember we talked about Hot and Cold on this map back when he used to play Ash.
Yeah.
And that was the old Cafe, before the rework, if you remember.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. He's always been good on this map, and I don't know what it is.
I know that's what you were talking about. I was vouching and giving
I think it was
legitimacy and showing that we are of the same mind, Michael.
Was that back when was it Flipside back then?
It was either Flipside or it was SK, one of the two.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yes, it was quite a ways ago, Michael.
Yeah.
They might have even been playing under Homeless at the time. I can't remember exactly,
man.
But
that's a small pocket of history there.
Homeless, and then Homeless was after F3 before SK. Ooh, and then they got... Oh my goodness, look at this. Hyper just standing under Red Hatch, waiting, just itching for a fight. Doesn't get it, immediately falls off. And he heads over towards the skylight. He could have been picked off if somebody from TSM was looking in that direction, but Hyper is committed to this. He is not going to be shaken off of pillars right now.
Now, sometimes clutches like the one we just saw from Houghton, they have interesting and different effects on certain players and certain teams. It can be varying. Sometimes it amps you up and makes you want to go for fights. Sometimes it solidifies your confidence in your team and makes you think that, if I die trying to make a play, then it's okay. My team's got this. Sometimes it just makes you play sharper. I mean, but generally speaking, it's a net positive for a team when one of their players clutches like what we just saw from Houghton, and it will always get you in a better mindset, whatever that mindset happens to be for the respective match.
So now when we look at this bomb site in particular, it's a reading defense on that second floor, as we talked about. The team's using this third floor as a buffer, as Dark Zero is very strong on the east side of the map. And there goes the disappearing act of the Wamai. So Mint immediately drops, and TSM have got control of this side of Cocktail. And would you look at that? Hyper has not been removed from pillars. Skies and Mint have been removed from the server, though, by both Merc and Bolo. So TSM, two very early and very quick picks into this action. When I say early, I don't mean into the round. I mean into the execute that's unfolding. Hot and Cold answers back. He's going to continue his good play before getting silenced by Merc. So TSM trades that one off quite quickly. Eclipse under the radar on White stairs. He's able to take out Geo, but not get back to the bomb site. TSM trading admirably so far, leaving Hyper in a final situation now between, three members? Make that two, as Merc dies. Chalet and Bolo against Hyper. Hyper sees one! The second drops! What a clutch from Hyper! In pillars, he spent the entire part of the round in that exact location, and it pays off. Dark Zero stealing around, and they tie up the map 4-4.
The most impressive thing that I can say about Hyper in that moment is he had the patience that none other on his team had, or no other, rather. He played in pillars, as you mentioned, for the majority of the round, and was a thorn in the side of his opponent consistently throughout the round. There were many options for Hyper there. He could have peeked wide and pillars. He could have repositioned into this site to assist his teammates. He could have played for a retake on red stairs. He had a plethora of options. But what Hyper opted to do was stay in pillars. And the reason why that's so crucial, why it's so impressive, is because it requires incredible forethought. He was aware of where the enemy was attempting to take inside of pillars so they can push into reading, just as ZZ had done in the first half. And he was aware that his existence in pillars hindered that push, or rather even completely stopped that push cold in its tracks. So Hyper just stayed. He didn't overpeak. He never exposed himself. He only seized upon the opportunities presented to him by his opponent. And boy, howdy, did that work out well for him. You saw how that was contrasted by many of the other players on DZ going for aggro plays, getting refragged immediately by Merc, and all over the place. The pressure from above, the holes made in the floor. Oh my gosh, TSM did more work with those holes above than we usually see. It was impressive stuff. That was what I was going to praise TSM for. I thought they would win it, but Hyper's patience wins it out.
Patience is exactly it. Hyper had started to head towards White Stairs because the call was made from the hatch, and he got the very first pick from that angle. And then I'm almost certain, whether it be intel or whether it be sounds, he knows that there's somebody above, and he immediately turns and heads over towards pillars. And I think you nailed it as to why he was there. And, well, a big round from Hot and Cold 2 rounds ago, and a big round from Hyper just now will be the stories for Dark Zero. And I mean, without those two clutches, And I think it's safe to say that TSM had those rounds until the dying seconds when they didn't.
Yes.
This could be match point for TSM, and that is a tough realization to come to. But for Dark Zero, you are going to use that as best as you can and try to capture that momentum and continue to ride it forward. And now here in round number 9, DZ has not led since round number 1. They have either been tied or trailing TSM. So they are going to do something that they haven't done in well over half an hour, which is try to lead this map. And by doing so, they would take 3 rounds on defense, which is at minimum what you want on Cafe. They're defending upstairs, and well, they've got the Vector in the hands of Mint down below. He's just going to watch both those entry points over towards Reading, and Bolo knows that through one of them, he's going to have to push on in. There he goes, and he loses the fight. Dark Zero get the 2 opening picks. Bolo and Achieved are sat down, giving DZ a 5v3 with a minute left on the clock.
Huge round there from Mint. The fact that he's alive is just a testament to DZ's control. Merc, though, he is the refrag machine. He has been picking up those kills to answer back for Dark Zero's kills throughout this second half consistently. And that kill right there onto Houghton will give a fighting chance to TSM. If he hadn't gotten that, we'd be looking at pretty much an insurmountable task. Still very possible, though. East Repel is the focus here for TSM. They've got Chalet, top red. He can apply some pressure and pick off some of the players that are looking at the East Repel. Ooh, that's big. He'll cut off the balcony, but he'll lose the fight to Eclipse, rather trade with Eclipse, both of them landing their headshots. Now it's all on Merc and Geo. Scratch that. Now it's all on Merc. He'll get the initial entry, the 1v1 now, but low HP on Merc. He has to rush with only 10 seconds left. No diffuser in hand. He has the stuns, but no time to use them. He goes for the push. This has got to be heard by Mint. With only 2 seconds left, all he needs to do is stay alive, and he'll do just that. Dark Zero take yet another round on defense.
That one came a little too close for comfort for Dark Zero. What a repel in and flick from Merc. But honestly, it really seemed like the big stumbling block for TSM. One, it was their entry onto that second floor. You pointed it out. The fact that Mint was not just able to get the kill onto Bolo, but also stay alive, not surrendering that position. And with it, all that comes with holding Reading. Being able to play the angles that have been opened up in the floor, being able to play off of pillars, giving you that vantage point over towards New Hatch. Then you've also got white stairs that you can begin to head through. And if you know that there's nobody on that second floor, you are free and clear to head to red stairs and then ascend in that direction, because it is exceedingly unlikely that you're going to have somebody watching red hatch when you don't have the ability to pull off your execute, especially when you were trailing in numbers, as TSM ended up doing. And even though they did get the trade from Chalet, you're still down at that point, and one of them is Merc, who's essentially on hard holding an angle on Repel, not flank watch necessarily, but in a position to catch a cross that might come through bar storage, might come from cocktail, etc. Ultimately, I mean, TSM seemed like they had a good idea of what they wanted to do, but they lost 2 gunfights right off the hop, setting them at such a disadvantage that even a very strong strategy is not always enough for you to come back from a 3v5. With that, Dark Zero does take their 3rd round on defense, and I mean, I touted how good they are in attack. So far, they seem to be playing to the advantages that come with Cafe on defense, and now it's a return to Kitchen, where their defense started, as it's round number 10, Dark Zero in the lead.
Ooh, is that a bakery extension? You don't see those a lot anymore. It's not necessarily a bad thing, and just some teams don't like doing it. I love the confidence on Dark Zero. You have to have confidence to go for a play like this. Eclipse is going to be supporting Houghton with his magnets, throwing those out to try and catch any kind of projectiles. Achieved will drone hot and cold, and they know what's going on here. TSM is aware of the problem. Now, finding the solution is another thing entirely. You can see the castle barricade and the reinforcement allows a solid position for Hot and Cold to play off of. He's got the ADSs and the magnets to support him here, as I mentioned earlier. Sun's going in. Houghton will reposition. Skies is holding on to Small from Harry Potter coat check area. He'll fall back. That's actually dangerous, because now Bakery's exposed from a push from Small, but it's not going to matter, as Eclipse and Hot and Cold pick up 1 kill apiece. So the push from Bakery effectively stopped, and the attack seriously struggling. That's to get rid of the air jab that was placed directly above the door, now allowing for a flank from Skies.
Prime position to do that if he doesn't get discovered by Chalet, who looks to be setting another air jab in a very similar place. And, well, Skies doesn't have any impacts left, so he'll hear the air jab get placed and then have to head elsewhere. And he'll shore up his possible weakness on his flank, as this extended bakery hold is still very much going. And being assisted by a Maestro cam, the EMP will get caught. A second one will hit the Maestro square in the face. And down one goes and will need to be picked back up. Finished off, leaving Bolo inside of prep in a 1v4.
Wow.
He'll die. What dominance from Dark Zero. They look indomitable so far. 4 rounds in a row. Match point for DZ on the very first map here in our grand finals.
You know, there's something just when you're watching it from the perspective of the person who dies, and that person who dies got pre-fired. There's something like upsetting about it, unnerving, I think is the right word. He wasn't even given a chance, Parker. The pre-fire was there, Hyper landed it, and Dark Zero have rallied back on this map. We go from 4-2 to 6-4. Now, of course, that's keeping in mind the fact that we are now in the second half and DZ gets to defend. In a double hard breacher ban on Cafe. This is a very defender-sided map, made even more defender-sided. So keep that in mind. But so far, we have not seen the same ability to lock out attacking rounds on TSM side as we saw in the first half from Dark Zero.
Bomb located by attackers.
This incarnation of DZ is a lot of fun to watch. They play a very stifling style of play, and their regional equivalent would be SSG during the Mute and Mozzie meta. A lot of people, I think, excused their losses to SSG by saying, oh, Space Station just abused the meta at 6th Invitational.
Space Station just played the game.
They just, you know, they used the optimal strategies presented at the time, and they did it better than everybody else. How dare they? You know?
I'm not even going to tell you how many times I've heard that in private. I've heard that from people in the community. I've heard that from teams. I've heard that from random viewers that make comments on Twitch chat. And I mean, that's my fault for reading Twitch chat. But
they use their brains, you know, when confronted with the brainless.
Space Station only did well because of Mute and Mozzie. And it was, but the point I'm trying to make is that it was very stifling, and you could tell that the way that SSG did it in their region, the same region that we're casting right now, which is North America, obviously, is they were able to punish you because you had to play their game, period. And right now, over the 2 days, now I guess day 3 that we've seen of the NA Mini Major, is that Dark Zero has forced every team to play their game. Barring a couple rounds and an odd, you know, half of a map here and there, DZ has looked extremely comfortable with everything that these teams have thrown at them. They are prepared. They are ready. They have obviously done their homework. These are all things that we know Dark Zero has been capable of in the past. They've struggled to put it into action. Not this time. Not this weekend.
Now, I think a big part of that, for me, or the way it seems, obviously I'm not on the team, but outside perspective here, Dark Zero seemed like they just decided they wanted to play their own game, if that makes sense. It seems like they are more confident in, or more sure in themselves. When DZ or a player on DZ makes a play, it just seems like they know that's what the right decision is at that moment. And I think you put it well. You said they make other teams, or they force other teams play Dark Zero's game. And the way they do that is by being the ones to initiate, being the ones to set the tempo, set the engagement. His gas canisters are a good example of control right now. As you can see, Eclipse is not only delaying, but doing a little bit of damage as well to Bolo, and allowing Mint to persist just inside of the pallet's corner. I don't think TSM is aware of this. No, the way they're playing, they don't know that there's someone still here. There is no way they've checked this. But the timing is really bad. There's a player behind that bar, but he doesn't know it. Mint doesn't know. There's so little information for both teams, and he might find the second. Yes, he will. Bolo doesn't get off cams. He's looking for a third, and he'll get it as he falls back to sight. Mint with a massive round, and just a lot of bad information on, well, to be honest, both teams, and it works out for Mint.
This is a desperation, a Hail Mary grenade going on in as the chances to win this map for TSM have all but evaporated. And with it, it'll be series point, technically, for DZs. They'll only have one more map to go. There it is. It's in the books. They took map number 1 by virtue of not losing a single matchup. And now they're going to take map number 2. There's only one more left for DZ to be the major champions. Will they get it? We'll find out. But my goodness, 7-4 DZ. This might end up being a quick one, Michael.
Parker, I there's a lot to say, or a lot I could say about that last round there. The thing that stands out most, though, is TSM didn't finish the first job before transitioning to the second job, and as a result, Mint punished them. I know that it's weird that Mint is sitting in a corner in White Hallway. I get it. Why would he be there? But also, you didn't even check. You didn't even try. There was no drone went in there and was like, oh, hey, okay, it's clear. We can start opening from above. And Mint had a really easy, leisurely breeze retaking into Cocktail. That's all on TSM. That's, well done to Mint for exploiting it.
Yes, DZ exploited a lot of weaknesses from TSM, and honestly, those clutches that came out, the one from Hot and Cold and the other from Hyper, both of which were impressive feats on their own, but you don't end up pulling off those clutches without some mistakes being made, and I think one of the big mistakes committed by TSM when Hot and Cold got that clutch was, number one, poorly juggling their hard destruction and then waiting until there was no time left to try to go through a very tiny opening with Skies having all three of those toxic canisters left. The second clutch that came out from Hyper, you have Hyper very well known over by 90. He gets a pick onto the third member, I think it was Geo, that tried to drop, and then the two remaining members are upstairs. If you know that somebody's playing at 90, you don't necessarily need to go for that kind of suicide drop by pillars, especially knowing that the Jaeger is going to be more than capable of either rotating towards that direction or into reading to watch for you. So it's obviously a stroke of good luck from DZ, but additionally, you get helped by some mistakes from TSM. Michael, though, there are some analysts who are much better at this than you and I, and they are paid huge sums of money to dissect what we just watched. But first, we have a break ready, as we're going to continue on through these grand finals with Dark Zero up 2-0.
You should know better than to write me off. Consider this a teaching moment.
Test your Siege knowledge with Varsity Gaming. He lined up some of your favorite personalities as contestants for the Siege Trivia Show Extravaganza Extraordinaire. Take a look for yourself.
Okay, welcome to the first ever Varsity Gaming Siege Trivia Show Extravaganza Extraordinaire. That's what we'll call it from now on. All right, on our game show today, we have three lovely contestants. We have Priest. Say hi, Priest.
What's up?
We have Sam, also known as Spawn, or Spontaneous.
Hello.
And then we have Roy the Boy, also known as your boy Roy, Chase, and 50 other different names.
Darn right.
What team won the Season 9 finals in Milan, Italy? All right, we got Roy first.
Empire.
You are correct.
Wait, do we have to answer like a question like Jeopardy? Because if so, he lost.
No. I don't know what show you're talking about. That is copyrighted material. We are the Siege Extraordinaire Extravaganza Trivia Show.
Let's go.
Roy, pick a category and a difficulty.
Feel the room for 300.
All right, feel the room for 300. What is this room?
How long do I have?
Oh, gosh.
Whoever buzzes in first gets the answer first.
Oh, I figured I had time. Why did I buzz?
All right, Roy, what is your answer?
Shoot, didn't mean to. Saw the 3 walls. Yikes, don't really have an answer, so I'm just gonna throw out Border Archives. No, it's wrong, but go say something.
Border Archives is incorrect.
That's crazy.
All right, Sam, Priest, you guys have a chance to buzz in and try to answer for 300.
I mean, I can't remember what site has 6 walls.
Yeah, me either.
I'm just gonna say something, okay? It's coastline somewhere. I don't know.
That is incorrect. Sam, you are up.
The only thing I can think of is compressor on Outback, but I know that's wrong.
The answer was church on Clubhouse.
That's church?
Oh, that's a desk.
That's a table. Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh,
god.
that's Moto on the...
That's Moto. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Okay. I feel that. That's okay.
Don't worry, this is not like other insert copyrighted name trivia shows. We will not deduct points. Just none of you get anything. Moving on. Roy, since no one got it right, you can choose the next one.
I feel it again. Feel the room. 100. Be nice to me.
What is this room?
Is that a bomb site? Like the...
That is a hatch in the top right corner.
That's a hatch?
I've suddenly forgot
Are
every
you sure that's a
room in
hatch?
Siege.
Yes, that is a hatch.
Oh.
Roy.
Is that a... that would be the room in Oregon.
I buzzed. Give me.
What is your answer, Roy?
It'd be like the stage room in Oregon.
That is incorrect.
I
Priest,
buzzed.
you're up.
Give me. That is Trophy Chalet.
That is correct. Priest gets the first amount of points.
Chalet.
Trophy
Good
room
job.
Chalet.
Well, thank you so much, Varsity Gaming, for the knowledge and for the laughs. Once again, folks, we have that Shadow Legacy DLC reveal coming soon. I know we've been teasing it all weekend long. I know you want to watch it, and guess what? It is coming up right after the Analyst Desk breaks down Map 1, so stay tuned.
Welcome back. I'm Jackie Jing with our lovely analysts, Jesse and Veli. Gentlemen, what a map 1. Cafe 7-4 going to Dark Zero, defeating TSM. Dark Zero, though, making us a little bit nervous at the beginning there. They were down in the half, and I'm like, what's going on? You got a map advantage, and this is your map pick. Jesse, what was happening there? Maybe nerves? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, specifically in the first half, like, that didn't go well for Dark Zero, and I get it was a 7-4 scoreline, but I think when you add context, it gets a lot worse for them. If I'm BC, I'm probably not happy here, keep in mind this is their map pick, and TSM didn't get any bans before this. We went pick, ban, pick. So Dark Zero had 7 maps to choose from. They chose to go here. They're starting on attack, and you might say this is Cafe. You expect the defense to go 4-2, but this is actually the most attacker-sided map we've had in the US division. It's been a pretty 50-50 map, so you want the attackers to get those 3 rounds. A lot of that has come down to attackers really figuring out the reading room bomb site, and defenders still liking to go there a lot. And Dark Zero failed both of their reading room attacks. So this is sort of where we're seeing Dark Zero not having the greatest first half. A lot of it was sort of them getting thrown off, them starting to get slow, and I thought to myself, I was like, is this the choke from Dark Zero? Are we going to see TSM just take this in 3 maps? However, once we finally started to get the ball rolling, Dark Zero did take it back in that second half, but I wouldn't say that this was like the map that they wanted. And although it was 7-4, which is somewhat one-sided, I don't think this is... I'm not happy if I'm BC and I watch this map.
I'm sorry, I love how fired up Skies gets, because every time we chat with him, he's just like cool and composed, and then when you see that man in his element, you're like, that is a different person. Anyways, love the player cams.
He's a beast.
Yes, but actually talking about people who are beasts, hot and cold, he ain't cold today. He is on fire. Veli, I was telling you earlier, Veli and I are kind of weebs. I was like, he's straight Todoroki today.
And that's for all the anime nerds out there. You guys are going to love that reference. But, yo, Hot and Cold went off in the one round to really show what he did that was so big and what he's been doing throughout this entire tournament. It happened on the kitchen site when he was holding down Bakery as Maestro. You know, first off, got to give a shout out to Eclipse, who's Wamai was his backup. He was his right-hand man, right? But the thing was, once TSM tried to push in, they utilized a lot of utility to try to exhaust any type of ADSs or magnets, right? When that was done, they tried to utilize brute force. The moment they walked in, Hot and Cold got the first kill easily. Wamai, who was Eclipse once again, got the second kill. Then it was a Hot and Cold show. He racked up a 3K. He was dominant as Maestro. And you know what? Eclipse could have walked away, and I honestly feel like Hot and Cold could have done it all himself. The way he held down Bakery, he was like a strong, independent black woman. Wasn't nobody, like he didn't need no one's help. He was going to hold it down all by himself, and he's actually been phenomenal. I love his play this weekend.
Yeah, he's been playing great. I mean, the whole team, Dark Zero, just, whew, man. I do want to talk about TSM a little bit. We heard Intero saying that DZ exploited a lot of their weaknesses, but we saw some positives, and Belly, we were chatting about this earlier. TSM's team play is actually really escalating Chalet right now.
Yes, you're right. And in particular, I want to talk about round 2 now. This was the kitchen site once more. But the thing was, you had Chalet, who was in Bakery as Maestro. We keep talking about these Maestro players, right? Give the man his ACOG back. But this was the thing. It was perfect team play that led to individual success. We always talk about how a player is amazing and he won the round because he got a 3K. That doesn't happen if it wasn't for his teammates. And it all started off with Bolo, who was Valkyrie over by a long bar. When he was able to take out one player on brown stairs, he protected his teammate, who was Achieve, that was watching back Freezer.
Right.
Once they secured those kills and Achieve wasn't able to get flanked, it was all up to Chalet, who held on to that Alda and was able to rack up kills of his own. It was just beautiful. Now, that just shows that as long as TSM, everyone on that team plays their role right, they're going to have beautiful, successful wins like that, and it looked pretty flawless to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chalet is like a great player, and I don't want to take anything away from him, and he did have his moments, but I do want to say, like, Chalet had some bad moments too. I mean, we all saw the smoke play where the Toxic Babe missed, and they threw the second one at the wall, and it's like, it doesn't seem super impactful in the moment, especially since they win the half 4-2, but if he wins that one, the momentum never stops for TSM. They end up with a 5-1 half. They seem really dominant going into that second half, and then maybe they don't like win, or maybe they don't lose some of those clutches, right? Maybe then TSM keep that momentum going. So like, Chalet is a great player in his own right, but that one round was one where I was really looking at him like, okay, come on, you cannot be losing those.
Okay, Jesse with the constructive criticism.
That wasn't a good round for him.
It was kind of bad.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. And you know, Jesse, you know, obviously we love you for your big brain, and you bring a lot of constructive criticism to these teams. And we were talking about Dark Zero earlier. This is a strong attack team, and we have seen a vast improvement in their defensive game. But Jesse, Dark Zero on this map 1, you were telling me they're relying on clutches on defense.
Yeah, I don't know why this analyst segment's so negative from me, but that's just the way I saw the map. The second half for Dark Zero was, they did quite well. They won a lot of rounds, but it wasn't how they want to win rounds. Dark Zero is not a team that wants to be relying on clutches. No team wants to rely on clutches. They won 5 defensive rounds. 4 of them came off of either crazy 1v3s, a 1v1 winning on time, or just mint popping off at the start. Was
okay, guys, sorry about that. I have been here in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's joined. We had a minute ago 14 people joining, so that's absolutely crazy to me. That's the most I've had in my live streams. I've done quite a few live streams, but I've never had 14 people in the chat. Currently got 9 people, so thank you to everyone who's currently in the chat watching the stream. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and drop me a like. I am going to go quiet. I have been going quiet, but I'm on and off the mic. When the reveal starts, which should be after map 2, so this is why I'm streaming the entire thing, because I don't want to miss it. So the last map has ended. I didn't catch the end. I wasn't watching it. I was actually on the phone to my partner, or Mrs. Classic. So yeah. But I'm going to go quiet again in about 3 minutes, because I'm just going to eat my food, and then hopefully that will be a little bit way through the chat, through the next map. Not quite sure what the next map is, but I think it's going to be, it'll be something. I know that.
Think about it with me. Throughout the entirety of the weekend,
I'm not sure what
one
be
of the
something.
main heartbreakers
That's
that
really
he's been
shit,
rocking
isn't it?
with
Really
is
shit
the
thing to say.
Maverick. Now, and that's important
It
for
won't
two
be
reasons,
something. I
because
know. I
Cole,
can't remember what map it
as
is.
Maverick, can put in a
But when
lot
the
more
reveal starts, we will
fragging
definitely
than he
be.
can as
I'll be on the
Thermite,
mic
because he has
talking.
those 2 frag grenades
If you
in
can
a
hear
vault
some
that's
sort of
better than
humming
right?
sound behind me,
So
that's my
the thing with
fans.
Dark Zero,
My
they
flat
messed
is
the RPG
incredibly
Maverick
hot.
open up
It's
walls,
currently
then you have
pouring
the
with
Sophia
rain, but yet it's
open it
still
up
very
right behind him
humid.
once he's done using blowtorch, and after that, you have
And
two frag
yeah, I
grenades
just
and
get
that gun, right?
hot really easy. I don't deal
Hot
well with the
Coast
heat.
statistically has been
So
one of the
about
best
2
players
minutes
from
away
Dark
from
Zero,
my
whether
food
it's
being
from
cooked.
entry
I'm
or
gonna
even
go
on
quiet.
defense, when he
So as soon as
even
I've eaten
gets a chance
food
to
and
run,
we
he's
are
been
halfway
phenomenal.
through the
So
next
that's one
map,
thing. But to me,
I'll
it's
come
gonna
back
be Eclipse
and
as well.
we'll
Eclipse, he's
continue
been
chatting.
playing pretty much some
But
of
thank
the
you to
same
everyone
roles
who's
that
in the
we've seen him
chat.
struggle on before, but
Please
it's
stick
the
around.
fact
I
that
am
he's
also
able
talking
to
in the
roll
chat,
out and
so
get those
don't be
key
afraid to
plays
ask me
to
any
really
questions.
swing around and Dark
Just so
Zero's
everyone
advantage. I
knows,
think
I had
the
to
two
time
changes
someone
is
out
the reason why
earlier
they're so
for
good.
breaking the rules of the chat. I haven't really laid down any sort of rules really, but typical kind of rules that I would stick to, most people do stick to this, is
But when they have that Thermite,
for example, I'll give you an example, is racism, discrimination against sexism, disability, that kind of thing, and also anyone being nasty to anyone else in the chat for any reason that I've just mentioned, and just being generally out of order, you'll be timed out. That'll be your first warning. If you do it again, probably get timed out again. I'm not going to. I don't want to ban someone, so I won't ban people unless you really do wind someone up. So I would think it's better that you don't, get yourself to a point where you're going to get banned. I don't want to ban anyone, so I won't ban people unless it's absolutely necessary. I think some streamers, if you even like talk too much or you put all capitals, you get timed out. Well, I'm not going to time someone out for talking in capitals, but I will say don't do a lot of messages where you're just talking in caps, especially if you're going to yell at someone. That will get you timed out. But like I said, I'm not going to ban people unless you have multiple warnings, so you'll be warned. If you do it again and you don't listen, then you'll get timed out. If you then come back and you do it again, you'll be timed out again, but there'll be no warning. And if you do it again after being timed out for a second time, it'll be a ban. So it's a warning and then 3 strikes and you're out.
This is a pretty even matchup.
So
but
just be aware of that. That's the rules of the chat. So I don't want to ban anyone, but I will not hesitate if you don't give me a choice. Alright guys, I'll be back on the mic in about half an hour or so, 20 minutes or so.
But they stepped up and clutched
Cheers,
around
guys.
for the team. Eclipse kind of didn't really have any of those. Not to say he played bad or he didn't contribute, but he was more just like an all-around getting kills in specific rounds. A little bit more spread out, doing his role. He was on that Thatcher smoke, as you saw. But it was kind of funny, he was our guy to watch, and then everybody around him sort of popped off instead. It happens sometimes.
So I want to talk to both of you about this. DZ, they're preppers. They do their homework. they're very reliant on their plans. And we don't mean this in a negative way at all. I mean, like, this is just kind of like one of their big strategies, what they're very well known for. I honestly was a little bit nervous for them today because I felt like, hey, did they show all of their cards today? Is TSM going to figure out all their plans? I mean, how deep is this playbook, gentlemen? How deep is this playbook?
It's extremely deep, but they dug to the deepest part of that playbook, and my main criticism was a lack of intel on DZ's lineups. They only chose Maestro 20% of the time during the middle of the season. We didn't see a lot of intel ops, we didn't see a lot of shield ops besides Clash. But now Dark Zero, they're bringing shields galore, they're bringing intel galore, okay? We're starting to see a lot of Maestro with these players are going off with them, right? We're starting to see Monty on attack. That way, Mint's able to go in and gather a ton of intel, and he rallies the troops and pinpoints them in the direction they need to go in order to get the kills. That has worked extremely well. On defense, though, the Clash play, it looks like it's been better than ever. They've been really able to slow down TSM and every other team they've gone against to really put the ties in their favor. And the pace has been set by Dark Zero this entire weekend. They play and other teams adapt to their play style and not the other way around.
And I do think that, like, for Dark Zero, it's really important when you think about their strat book, when you think about, you know, the maps that they've shown already, it's important to look where they're going now. In terms of like how deep that strat book's going to be, because at least for these first two maps, Dark Zero got away with playing maps that they haven't really played very much in the regular season. They didn't play very much in this tournament so far, so there's still a lot that can be hidden there. You know, if they come in and they play a map that they played a bunch like Clubhouse or Consulate, then they're going to be in a really bad spot because they've already shown a lot of what they have to offer, and the support staff from TSM can really dig through all that. But coming on to a map like Cafe, which they played once the regular season and once this tournament, both against Space Station, there's still a lot of opportunities for them to show new stuff. Oregon as well. It's a map that I think, you know, favors TSM, but it has some potential for Dark Zero in that Dark Zero haven't played this map very often. It hasn't been one that they've shown off very much, and TSM have. This has been their best map, and they've shown that. They've proven it. They've put it all on the table. So there's a lot of potential for Dark Zero to do that research without having that research done on them, particularly with these first two maps.
Okay, so Veli had his coach's corner earlier and kind of gave us an inside perspective on what the coaches are thinking. If y'all were the coaches, what would you be telling your team right now? Let's start with TSM. What's Poja Man telling them?
Win, do better, take your time. Like, honestly, the thing about TSM, they were able to scrap up rounds that it looked like they weren't in favor of winning as well. You got to realize you're on a team full of individual stars, all 5 of them, right? If they can play together like they did in round 2 that I explained about Chalet getting that 3K, the rest of the wins can be the same way if they play together and watch each other's back. That's all it is. Minimize the mistakes.
Okay, and Jesse, you're BC. What's he telling Dark Zero?
One more. You know, you got to get one more map. There's 3 in the row. There's 3 coming up. Just take one of them, and the series is yours. You're the champions. This next one might be harder because it's TSM's best, but give your all every single map, and you just got to find it one time.
Y'all should be coaches.
I don't want to be no coach. I yell at everybody.
No, I love you all as analysts. Stay with me. Okay, thanks. But all weekend long, we have been talking about this DLC reveal trailer, okay? Like, we've been hyping it up. We've been showing you snippets. I think we saw a thumbnail, part of a trampoline, some barbed wire. Frost's head was in one of them. So, I mean, like, I know we are all in for this. We want to see this 30-minute DLC reveal trailer, right? Do y'all want to see it?
Yes,
please.
Play
yes,
it now.
Please.
Stop talking, Cap.
I'm done talking. Roll the tape.
Hey, Siege fans. I'm your host, Seltzer, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Operation Shadow Legacy, the biggest season yet to come to Siege. We're still coming at you from the comforts of our own homes, and we're excited to share what's coming up with the help of our very own Ubisoft news team. They've put together a quick look at what's in store today, starting with our newest operator. Most of you know him as Sam Fisher, but at Siege, we like to call him Zero.
You should know better than to write me off.
Oh, mate, is the reveal starting now? Oh, it is! What?
In Operation Shadow Legacy, a legend steps out of the darkness and into the light as Sam Fisher comes to Rainbow Six Siege. Armed with a powerful new intel-gathering gadget, a deadly new assault rifle, and a gruff demeanor honed over years of fieldwork, Fisher steps into his new call sign, Zero, with all the swagger you'd expect from an icon. Perfect shot. But Shadow Legacy is about more than one operator. It's about a whole host of gameplay modifications that will change the way you play Siege. Ping 2.0, new and updated optics, a hard-breaching secondary gadget, pooled reinforcements, and map ban, plus the match replay alpha phase on the test server are just some of the updates that, along with a rework of the scenic Chalet map, will ensure this season has a lasting legacy. It starts with Sam Fisher joining Team Rainbow as Zero, a medium-speed, medium-armor attacker. His SC-3000K assault rifle may look familiar to fans of his previous work, and it's right at home in Siege with a variety of optics to suit your preferred
Wow, that is
honestly,
that is awesome.
MP7, and he's got a 5.7 USG sidearm with an integrated suppressor in keeping with his signature stealthy style. Speaking of which, check out the laser sight on his Argus launcher. It doesn't just have the look, it also delivers the goods. Intel.
Ready. Argus launched.
Always one to use cameras to his advantage, Zero can fire his Argus projectiles into breakable and reinforced surfaces to burrow through and create camera vision on both sides
wow,
of the barrier.
24 people in the chat. I
Floors,
can't believe that.
And ceiling are all potential peak points.
Thank you
for
everyone
Zero
who's joined.
His allies.
Welcome everyone.
And
Please
though
subscribe,
the two-way
guys.
cameras can only look
Please
in
get
one
me to that
direction at a
over that
time,
300
there's
mark.
no
I'm
more
almost there.
versatile way
If we
to
can
get
get
a
me
look
to like
into a room
33
the
now.
defenders don't
Fuck
want you to
me.
see. Even
Jesus
if they can't
Christ.
burrow all the way
Okay,
through,
well, this is
Zero's
overwhelming.
camera projectiles
33
will still
people in the
stick
chat.
into most
Never had that. Please
opening
get
up
me
a
to
world
over
of
300, guys.
possibilities for
Subscribe to the
cheeky
channel.
new camera placements.
Please.
And
Subscribe
it's
and
not
like.
just intel they'll be gathering. Each Argus projectile can fire a single laser to destroy enemy gadgets or deal minor damage to enemies themselves. Zero's gadget is a powerful new tool for the attacking team, so defenders will want to keep their eyes and ears peeled. The projectiles make a distinct sound when burrowing into place, and can be easily destroyed with a bullet. Electrified surfaces will destroy the projectiles on contact. Also, mute jammers will keep them from functioning, while Wamai and Jaeger's gadgets will snap up any that fly by. But with so many places to deploy his gadget from relative safety, and so many ways to put it to use, Zero is sure to make his presence felt on Team Rainbow. The map you've been seeing here is likely familiar. I mean, who hasn't spent time in an expansive remote chalet surrounded by snow-capped peaks? The Chalet map rework brings some new navigation options to the venerable retreat, notably the ability to rappel all the way up and
This
traverse
map rework
the
looks
rooftop.
really good, actually. Oh, you can finally rappel on the roof!
Well, including
Oh,
the
that is
window you'll
awesome!
definitely
I've
wanna watch
waited for
out
that. I've always
but they'll
not
leave
been
it to the
annoyed that
level
you
design
can't
team
rappel
to
on
tell
the
you
top of the
more.
roof in Chalet.
In fact,
For
there
the first time
is so
ever, you can
much
actually
going
rappel
on in
onto the roof.
Operation
That is
Shadow
really
Legacy.
good.
We're gonna have to let the developers
Look at that,
take it
a
from
new
here.
tool for
Big changes are afoot,
reinforcement.
folks. Don't go anywhere.
Not reinforcement, for breaching reinforced walls. So a
I told you it
thermite's
was a
not
big
always.
season. Now let's dive in and take a deeper look at our map rework. Chalet, here we come.
Coming back to Chalet was really exciting, and it brought me back to my
Well, I'll let
earlier
you
years
enjoy
playing
the
Rainbow
stream,
Six,
guys.
going through the woods.
I'm just
with
gonna
my
go quiet.
squad, going towards the objective, and that's the same kind of feeling I have right now when I look at Chalet. Things we wanted to improve was the objective, making it a bit more fair on attack, and on defense, making it a bit more interesting. The way you attack the map now is completely different than before, simply because we added rappels in the map. You can move on the roof, that's completely different. The way you get line of sights into rooms and stuff, it's a simple thing, but for the map, like, it changes the whole dynamic. The only big change, I guess, in objective location is that trophy is not an objective anymore. So now you have kitchen and dining instead of having trophy, because we added the new stairs in trophy. So the basement is pretty much all there. Only for one major difference, which is something new, is that we've connected the hallway that people call blue. From the stairs you can go to the hallway and into cellars. Cellar, we made it a bit different to help a lot of the defenders. So the garage door is a really cool way to attack the objective, and we didn't really want to change it too much. The only thing we did is add a window right above the garage door, making it so defenders can peek through the window and put pressure, and it just makes it so the gameplay is a bit more interactive during this phase of the attack, instead of just being the attackers opening the wall and that's it.
Operation Shadow Legacy marks the first time recruiting a known operator into Team Rainbow. Let's see what it takes to bring a legend like Sam Fisher into Siege.
There is a lot of elements in the Sam Fisher fantasy that revolved around the Sam Fisher Splinter Cell gameplay of infiltration, of stealth, against AIs. Those elements, we had to interpret them in a way that would fit a PvP game like Rainbow Six Siege. We're bringing this camera intel aspect, the fact that Sam has more intel than his opponent, that he can outsmart them. So that was the first step, trying to get an intel tool on attack for Sam that would feel interesting. And that's when we came up with this idea of just, how can I look in the next room? How can I have an idea what's happening on the other side of the wall? And that's where we came up with the idea of the camera drilling through the wall to give us information on the other side. When we started using that concept, which we felt was awesome and very natural in Siege, and as well also very Sam Fisher, we wanted to also have this gameplay that is so common to every iteration of Sam, where you are in those intel tools, but you don't just collect information, you also wait for the right time to act. And that's when we came up with the idea of this one laser shot that the camera has, because the fantasy of having a gadget embedded in the camera was strong, and also since the laser is visible and make noise, it is relevant for Zero to actually look at the defending team and maybe wait for them.
Alright
to
guys,
be
just one
far
thing,
away to use their
don't
gadget,
forget
trace
that we
location
also
of
see
your camera.
Tachanka
And
rework
that gameplay
in
of
this
being
reveal.
the cam and
That's also
watching
coming in this next
defenders
season.
pass by
It
and
also
wait for the right
drops,
time to
from
use
what I
the
read
gadget,
yesterday, on
is
September
to
15th,
us
if that
very
date is
Splinter Cell.
correct.
Like the core role of Sam here is definitely going to be intel gatherer, and as a result, one of the parties thrives very much. Like he's really good at flank watching. Flank watching is really a strong suit. At the same time, we made a kit for him that would allow him to get rid of a lot of utilities. Defending team does not have access to IQ, so we could not afford to have those cameras being as subtle as Valkyrie, for example, and we had to make them more visible. So when they land, they make a distinct thud. They are bigger than a Valkyrie cam, they are a very distinctive shape, they can decal around it, so if you look for it as a defender, you should be able to find it. And it might be difficult to catch them with a regular mute jammer. Mute jammer are efficient at catching drones because you can funnel them through doors, drone holes, etc. So it's a pretty great way to go around a mute mode setup, for example. It is still a projectile. Jaeger and Womai will interact with it just the same, which, depending on how you see things, might be a counter to Zero himself or to Womai and Jaeger based on how much utility you bring. We're bringing a new weapon, and not just any new weapon. We're bringing the ST3000K, which is for us the iconic weapon of Splinter Cell. You're gonna recognize it right away by like the way it looks, the way it feels, and yeah, it's pretty great. It's definitely for us part of the Splinter Cell package, and it was really enjoyable to have that. But we didn't stop there. Like, we wanted to give you an option that would come maybe at a surprise and something very enjoyable for our community, and that would fit with what we see in this character, and that option is the MP7. This time with magnification.
There is definitely a buzz and a lot of research that went into it. Like, we put a lot of research into all our operators, but this is like, it was already an established character. So we had to go through and pick and choose, okay, what are we keeping? What are we redesigning? What is essential to the core? So it was a little bit intimidating because he's such a big character. We have an in-house Sam Fisher expert, so we made sure I checked in with him pretty much every step of the way. So Sam Fisher's new codename Zero, it's a sign of respect. Zero and Zero Alpha are actually call signs given to the net controller or commander. So it indicates his seniority. Harry is a psychologist. He doesn't have that military experience that Sam does. And coming in as an instructor, he's going to teach the rest of the guys a thing or two. So he's our first member of the ROS, Rainbow Operational Staff. My headcanon is always just Sam Fisher sitting in the back of the room with a coffee. He just doesn't say anything. He just looks at you and then walks away. Just pure judgment.
Now, if it hasn't sunk in yet that this season's a little bit different, we're about to make it crystal clear. This new era of Siege is kicking off with a ton of core gameplay modifications that are going to change the way you play. Here to tell us more are some of our wonderful developers from Montreal and Barcelona.
First of all, we're introducing 2 new sights, a new red dot and a new holographic sight. We are also bringing in 2 new scopes, one of it which is going to be at 1.5 zoom level, the other one is going to be at 2.0 zoom level. We are also changing the ACOG a bit. We're reducing the zoom level to 2.5 from 3.0. We are also keeping the 3.0 level. We're going to change the reticle and aesthetic insight of the scope, and it will also be distributed on DMRs. So yes, it's going to provide us with a new balancing tool for kits and provide you with different experience. So once the TS hits live for Shadow Legacy, feel free to hop in and provide us with some feedback. I hope that people find new favorites. They will rediscover some weapons that they discarded before because they didn't have the ACOG. Now with a 1.5x, maybe they'll discover like this weapon is crazy good and they'll have a new favorite. One of the most exciting one has to be the 1.5 on the Vector. It would have been too good to have an ACOG on it, but the ability to give a 1.5 and actually use the range, it's incredibly fun. With those new sights and scopes, we're also bringing in more customization for the players. You will be able to customize the sensitivity of each of those zoom level. So if you want to have a super quick 12x and a super slow 5x, nothing is stopping you now. Instead of having 2 global options, one for regular sensitivity and one for sensitivity while aiming down sight, we are keeping the global sensitivity, and we are also increasing the amount of sliders that you have control over. So you will have a slider for the 1x, you will have a slider for the 1.5, 2.0, etc. So more control for the players. We are introducing the accessibility tab in the option menus. So this will be the last tab that you see. When you open this, you will have plenty of choice for colors of your reticles. You will be able to choose from colorblind types or simply pick a colors among the choices. And one of the other things that we will bring to this customization is the opacity level of the reticles. You can open this menu and this tab while you are in game, and then you'll be able to change it whenever you want. So just like we mentioned at the 6th Invitational, we want to make new content for everyone to enjoy. This will also allow the balancing team to have more tools to balance the weapons, kits, and operators. So yes, making sure that every operators have fun options and fun guns.
In live, each defender has 2 reinforcements to deploy, so it's an individual amount of reinforcement. And with the new system of reinforcement, we have replaced this individual amount by a common pool of reinforcement. That means you have 10 reinforcement at the beginning of the round, no matter how player starts the round. If a player is disconnected or leaves the game, you have still 10 reinforcement available for all the team. Some operator has a lot of utilities to put in the environment. So no operator that are less to do during the preparation phase can focus on reinforcement, for example. Roamers can reinforce more than 2 hatches. It's globally, even in a PvE, for the protector stage, we have implemented also the reinforcement pool. Improvement of the preparation phase is still an important axe for us, and we will continue to work on that in the future.
Right now we have only hero pin, but with new pin system you just have to pin the gadget, and there was an icon tells you which gadget is there. So when you pin enemy gadget, you will be able to also reveal operator's identity on top of the screen. You can also pin your own gadgets, so this is useful for every level of the player, because let's say you pick the mute and you will be able to pin your own gadget to tell other players that I put mute gadget on this location. It's gonna be available on observation tool too, so you will be able to pin from camera and drone. We simply added number on arrow pin assigned to each player, so it's gonna be 1 to 5. This will be decided at the beginning of a match, and you will keep until the end of the match.
So in the past few years, we saw that the attacker's composition is quite rigid, and bringing a hard breacher is a must, and we would like to ease it a little bit. And with the secondary gadget, the attackers don't need to bring a dedicated hard breacher, and maybe it can lead to some more exotic picks. So the hard breach charge, it's a bit slower, and the hole it makes is also smaller. It's still gonna be enough to vault through or crouch walk through, but you cannot just run through it. Deployment, it's gonna be automatically activated, so there is no remote triggering. At the same time, the fusing is quite long. We wanted to make it easier for the defenders to react to it. So either we can try to trick it, or we can try to run away if we want to. The hard breach charge can be deployed on reinforced hatches as well, and this is gonna be very important. We would like to try to pre-reinforce the rooftop hatches, and this means that at the beginning of the round, all the rooftop hatches would be reinforced by default. This would give the defenders new opportunities and new defense strategies, because now they can decide to commit to defend those hatches with the help of Kite, for example. We would like to put it to test server and let our players give it a spin. If it doesn't work or players don't like it, we are ready to revert it. But if it works, then let's go. We will move forward with it.
Sorry guys, I was actually eating my food.
In Season 3,
excuse me, I've got the burps. I want to thank everyone who has subscribed and got me to over 300 subs. I'm overwhelmed by that. I've been on YouTube now for 5 years. I've been stuck on just under 300 now for the last sort of 2 years. So thank you so much, everyone. I so appreciate that. I'm overwhelmed right now. I don't really know what I think. I'm just. It blows me away. Honestly, I'm so unbelievably grateful. I want to try one better if we can. We've got quite a number of people, so I'm just telling one of my friends who actually helped me set up my channel from the beginning. He's one of my best mates. We currently have in the chat. Map ban, yes.
To influence what maps they are playing or what maps they don't want to play. This will
currently at the moment in the chat we have 38 people. Wow, wow, just wow. I mean, I know some of you haven't subscribed, but if you haven't, please subscribe. I can see that everyone has jumped on my stream. Out of all the streams, you've jumped on my stream, so I'm so grateful for that. I'm currently trying to do many different things. I know I haven't been chatting, but I am now chatting. So I'm going to go quiet and try and not speak as much so you can hear the reveal. But thank you guys, thank you so much. Thank you.
For one map and there is 2 possibilities, then a random choice will be taken between the 2 maps.
2 long-awaited words are taking a step closer to reality this season: match replay. This new feature will be hitting the Shadow Legacy test servers in its alpha phase, and we're going to need your help putting it through its paces. Here's a breakdown.
I'm here to introduce Match Replay. I'm really excited to tell you that it will come for the first time on the test server with Season 3. Match Replay is a system that records your last played games. You will have the possibility to store up to 12 games that will be stored locally, and you will be able to find it in the new section of the game that will be called Watch. You just have to click on it and it will start automatically. You will start from the perspective of the spectator. So you will be able to see the map and the players from the top view But I think even more interesting it will be that you will have access to each player view, regardless if it was your teammate or if it was your enemy. You will be able to see all the points of view, which is pretty exciting, and can't wait to see the reaction of everyone. The challenge for us actually, and always has been, is to make sure that it's a very reliable system in terms of what you're actually doing in the game. It's actually
alright, so I'm not sure
the match replay also.
what has been said by
right now it's an alpha
Lawrence
version.
Franken.
This is because we are aware that
I don't really know what that says.
Work to do. And you will
there's
see
no
that by your
defender.
own when you will test it on
Namely,
the
is that
servers.
your name?
Just go,
Sorry if I
try
pronounced
it
that
and
wrong.
see
There's
how
no
it is,
defender this
because
season. It's just
I'm
Sam.
sure you will get really excited
The
as I
defender
am.
who's being
You will be able
changed
to
is
see everything
Tachanka.
that happened in the game,
He's getting a
and we also
rework.
give
We
you
should see
feedback
him
to
shortly.
see how we can improve this feature even better.
So,
along with all the features coming to you in-game this season, we've got 2 features coming to you outside the game. You've told us how important it is to track your performance, and so we're going to launch a new personal stat tracker called My Siege Stats on Rainbow6.com. We've built this platform to be a meaningful tool to track your performance and help you become a better player. Simply enter your username and we'll give you a host of stats that you can use to analyze your matches and target areas of improvement. My Siege Stats will go live with the launch of Shadow Legacy, so hop in and check it out. We are also very excited to announce the release of Squad Finder, a brand new service to help Rainbow Six Siege players build the perfect team. Informed by your in-game data and playing habits, Squad Finder will help you find like-minded teammates and build the best squad in Siege.
That's good.
Squad Finder is already available on Rainbow6.com, so what are you waiting for? The more players who squad up, the better the experience will be. Now that we reached the end of the show, I hope you're as excited as we are for all the new content coming to Siege. The Shadow Legacy test server on PC goes live tomorrow, August 17th.
I had a feeling it would be tomorrow.
You get a free week coming to Siege from August 27th to September 4th. So if you've got some friends who haven't had a chance to play yet, it's a great time to get them involved. Thanks so much for watching. Let's get back to the action.
Well, I didn't really catch a lot of that, but what I did see, I was really impressed with. So let's just very briefly,
that was a lot of
we'll just turn the
what? Yeah, I know.
We'll turn it down a little bit so I can speak. So I am going to be speaking, but Sam Fisher's gun and his ability, you can basically burrow through floors, ceilings, walls that are not reinforced, and it's a camera that fires a laser. So basically what I can do, I believe it can blow up at like a Goro shield, one of these Balkan shields. It can pop a mirror window. The Chalet rework looks really good. I'll be interested to find out what that's like. Because I've just reached 300 subs, what I'll try and do, if I can get it working, is tomorrow, August 17th, I'll go live and I'll walk around the new map. I can't do a custom game of my own, unfortunately, so I'll have to go into a terrorist hunt, which won't be easy, but I'll try my best. I'm not going to go on to anything like a game or anything, because I never can find a game on the test servers. I never ever find a game. I think I found one game once, but oh my god, that just looks unreal. I didn't see Tachanka, which is just. I don't know if I missed it. Probably did, to be honest, didn't I?
Number 2, Sam Fisher. Number 3, it is the heart breach thing that they put together. That is so cool. That's meta changing. It's insane.
We thought that was a trampoline. We were wrong, and I'm happy that we were wrong about that. Jesse, what about for you? What's your top 3?
All right, I got to agree. Replays is probably the biggest thing. Definitely the hard breach for sure. And then probably Chalet. Like I always liked Chalet, so I know that's a minority opinion. But if it's gotten improved and can be even better, then man, I'm pumped for that.
Okay, and I mean obviously I agree with everything y'all said. I want to pick your brain about the reinforcements. How you think that's going to change up the game? Veli, I'll start with you.
We're opening up every wall, no more locked doors, we're busting right in. Like, imagine playing Theme Park and just walls are opening up all around you. You got a line over there.
Also, that reinforcement gadget that everyone gets is like a circular thing, as you saw it. That can like that is going to be another game changer. If you put that at the bottom, I'm very confident you probably can crawl through that. But it's still a thing that other operators, apart from, so if you're unfortunate enough to get Thermite and Habana banned, and you don't have and no one goes Maverick or a Ace, because you can go through as Maverick, but it just takes a little bit more of a bit more skilled player, I'd say, to actually get through that reinforcement.
It's going to change dramatically in how it's played if that happens.
And obviously it's silent, but yeah. But if you can do that, then it's going to mean that you can at least look through the hole in the wall that you blow open with that new reinforced object. Also, the Ping 2.0. I don't quite know what's my highlight. The replay sounds really cool, but Sam Fisher is probably my highlight. I can't wait. I honestly can't wait.
I was thinking about when you asked that question. I blanked out, Jackie. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was thinking about the Thatcher nerf.
Yeah,
that's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six isn't gonna be the same after this update. I love change. I'm ready for it.
Me too.
Well, what was the question you asked, though? I feel so rude.
I mean, the Thatcher nerf is also worth speaking about, but I was talking about specifically the hard breach gadget. And just
I don't know where he is. I thought we were going to get a Chanka look, but obviously not.
So the simple fact is, we're all used to seeing Thermite.
I'm getting loads of people messaging me. I've dropped down from about 39 or 40 people down to about 19. But everyone who joined, thank you so much.
And you have way better operators with better global utilities such as everyone else.
But yeah, I've got so many messages going off like on WhatsApp and stuff and on Facebook. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on everyone.
Let's just hand it over to our
I don't think it will be later on, but you never know. They might reveal Chanka rework. I know it is due to come this season, but maybe it's coming next season, like season 4.
Thank you very much. What a reveal that was. I saw right before we got in here, I think Way had tweeted out, like, I dare somebody to compile all of the changes.
Oh, 304 subscribers, guys. Thank you so much.
Well, I tried.
It absolutely blows my mind. I'm definitely going to be streaming more often.
Did you try?
I tried.
Having like 39 people in my chat is just it just overwhelmed.
But boy, I don't know what I'm most excited for.
But yeah, 21 people now. Fuck. Jesus.
I don't know. What are you most excited for after?
Obviously, being a smaller YouTuber, I don't have like a second screen, so I'm actually monitoring the chat via my phone. So please bear with me if I don't respond straight away in the chat.
Looks like it's probably going to be one of the most significant quality of life updates we've ever had in Siege.
Absolutely.
That's my main.
What I had before was overwhelming. It's just, my God.
Color blindness options.
Yeah, just wow, just wow.
System, the sensitivity sliders for each optic. And when you're
yes, Tachanka is getting a rework, Lawrence. He's basically getting his LMG taken away, and he's getting like a rocket launcher, and he can fire out grenades that have incendiary grenades, a bit like Capital's darts or arrows. You know, he has 4 of them. He has 2 smokes and 2 fire arrows that basically ignite the oxygen, and obviously the floor as well, and obviously the Vulcan shields by Goro. Or Goyo. I can never say his name right. But that's basically what Chanka's getting. But we didn't see anything of that in this reveal, or I didn't notice anything because I was doing multiple things. I was monitoring the chat, watching the stream, and eating my dinner at the same time. So typical man, I can't multitask.
Rigid.
So yeah.
I hope so. I mean, the changes to Thatcher
I've got
well.
WhatsApp going off. I've got Facebook going off. I actually had a Facebook call.
There, but that's enough from
I want to be able to stream until the end of this whole match today.
Because we got a match to play, and we're going to Oregon. DZ is 1 map away from being the major champions. Yes, I know. It's been a while since
Naito Bruh, that's how you pronounce your name. I think it is going to come. We've just started out. Is this the second map? I think it's the second map. It is the second map. So I've just
let's get into it. Map number 3.
I've just I think it is going to come, but the other thing as well that's really good is this ability with the new sights and stuff, like the 1.5 zoom and stuff like that. They're changing all that, giving operators that didn't previously have an ACOG the ability to have at least a zoom scope. So you're going to get the classic people who used to spawn peek with pocket snipers, with Blitz, not with Blitz, the pocket snipers with Bandit and with Jaeger. In the first year, they used to have ACOGs, and let's say a map like Plane, for example,
We'll get the
Yeah,
most
so a
out
map
of it.
like
Hopefully,
Plane
maybe we
had
can get
this
some more
really
maps, but
horrible
we'll see.
thing
Dark
where
Zero
the
looked pretty
defenders
dominant
would
in map
peek
number 1, and
the end
considering
of
they're already
the
up
front
two
and the
maps
back
with
of the
that one
plane
map advantage
to the front of the
coming in from
plane.
the upper
If you
bracket,
spawned at
this
like
could
the
be
front
over
and then they would come out the back and they would literally spawn
The
kill
way
you.
that DZ has been playing this weekend,
I would love
wouldn't
to
be
see a plane
surprised
rework
if it
actually.
is, but
Thinking
I
about
don't
it.
really want to get too ahead of ourselves here.
So I'm just going to check out the messages, so bear with me.
The vibe of that first map, and I don't know if you'd agree with
it is getting a rework. Skyscraper is getting a rework, but this season, it's Chalet, and then I think it's. I heard Chalet and Skyscraper were going to come out, so we're getting 2 reworks. Have we had one new map this season? We haven't, have we? We've had House,
and with it, I mean, who knows? There's been a bit of a lengthy
what
break
was the map
right now,
reworks
so
this
any
year?
momentum that DZ might have
I think it was
could have
House.
possibly cooled off, but
I don't think we got
for a
anything this
team that is as
season.
methodical
And the
as
next
they
season
are,
it's Chalet, and then the
and
season
as a
after that
team
it's
is
Skyscraper.
as cerebral as they are, I strongly believe that they took this downtime.
Yeah, the 1.5 scopes are the closest you're going to get to 8 cogs, so that's going to be really
We've been
good.
seeing at this tournament DZ
Yeah, I agree,
stride.
bro. I agree
Now,
that
there's
they
a
have
lot
to
of
fix the game. I mean, I've been
as to
having
what
major
that
issues
is,
with the game.
why it is.
Pings
lot
going
of
flying up to
conversation
like
on what changed for
2,000 or
DZ.
more.
And
One of my
again,
friends
you know,
actually had
for
like
me,
a
it
20,000
seems like
ping,
they
which
just
was
became more
absolutely
self-
crazy. We were in this
self-assured,
one game, and the
more
other
aware of
team
their own
had the cheek to blame
capabilities,
us for
more confident
debossing.
in the plays that they
Or
make, and it's
DDoSing,
working out
sorry,
great for them. They also
debossing.
they aren't shaking
So they
nearly
blamed
as much
us
as they
for that.
normally do. We've seen DZ go down a
But
few rounds
yeah, anyway,
and
this
just
map
completely
should
fall
be
asleep.
interesting to watch
Not
a Pro
so
League
to
teams,
this
how they
tournament.
manage the new
Whatever
Oregon
it is that's
rework.
going on behind the scenes that's enabling them to play the way that they are. The
Oh, it
only
was
thing that
Oregon,
you can
wasn't
hope
it, in
for
season
as a
1?
DZ fan is that they keep that
I think
up.
it was
Because
Oregon
we've
that got a
seen
rework, wasn't
amazing
it?
DZ before, and we've seen them falter off that, the top of that pedestal. So the consistency is going to be the main, I think, judgment here. And if DZ is given an opportunity to lock this finals out with this last map, if they
for sure. Like Johnny, I absolutely, Can you imagine on Valkyrie's fucking gun, being the fact that's probably she's probably one of the better operators in the game.
So we'll come on
that zoom on her gun, but you also got to think of the other ones as well. Like I play Capcan mostly on a defense, and a 1.5 scope. If he does get that on his gun, oh my god, that's just going to be Capcan is with the ability to spawn peek. You couldn't really do that before. But yeah, like the ACOGs that were taken away from certain operators, like the Vulcan, as explained in the reveal, they're going to have 1.5 scopes on there, and also they're adding so many changes in this new season. This is the most amount of changes I think we're going to get for quite a while, because after this season it's all change. I would expect them to reveal something about Tachanka. Maybe we're not going to get anything just yet. It might be after this game, you never know. But I heard it was after the second game, but obviously it was wrong.
He'll scoot off over towards the kitchen.
Excuse me.
Picks, and Mint manages to exchange 95 HP for 2 very important targets.
Yeah, that's your Thatcher and your Zofia, and Thatcher is still able to destroy those gadgets fully, so that's a pretty big pick there. I'm amazed that Mint was allowed to get that prone peek. He might even get a third as someone crosses right in front of him. He'll do, I think, some work there. Hard to tell, but he at least forces someone back. Or no, pardon me, that was a defender. I am delusional. TSM are fully focused right now on the bunker pillar take. This is not going to be easy to pull off. You've got Hot and Cold playing in a corner by Small. Good rotations, and hallway control is firmly in favor of DZ thanks to this shield. Small will get opened up. That forces the aggression out of Hot and Cold, and he dies to a nade from Achieve, who predicts that aggression correctly. Nade goes deep into the hallway, likely to get the shield, and it gets its second kill. Achieved on a roll here, but he's alone now, and DZ will clean things up. Dark Zero, a big first round on Oregon.
Performance as you expect from the defense on this map, and Pillars is a very strong position to hold. If you're going to stack up Wamais, or if you're going to stack up Jaeger devices over in that area, your utility dump from the attackers is going to have to be on point. Now, obviously, one of the most utility-heavy operators that you're going to see present from the attackers, Zofia, was killed very early, and then engagement that happened with Mint inside of meeting Doesn't really matter, though, because there wasn't a Wamai on the board. Like I said, the focus of Dark Zero on that round was to try and kill as much time and as much intel from TSM and force them to commit to fights where they don't know the positioning of their opponents. And it seemed to work quite well, especially when the final 20 seconds were on the clock and TSM got 2 picks. They equalized back.
I wouldn't say we have a Chanker elite. I've just I've been messaging on WhatsApp and looking at Facebook. I'm looking at multiple things right now. But I've got my phone. That's all I've got. I've got a laptop, but I don't know if it's charged. I'm not actually sure where it is right now. I might set that up next time I stream, so I've got another screen next to me, so I can monitor chat more easily. Please be kind in the chat, guys. I've just noticed Leardo, you just told someone to shut up. Please be polite. I don't want to time you out, but just don't say shut up. Yeah, that's not cool. As a warning, I will time you out. Just, I appreciate you saying let the guy explain.
But like I said, they had no intel. They had no idea. And
I know as much as you guys do. I didn't really. I was looking at it, but I was trying to pay attention and monitor the chat, and because I didn't want to talk over it, but I didn't want to. But I wanted to talk over it, but I didn't want to talk over it. If you know what I mean.
This is something a little strange.
But with Zero, or Sam Fisher. He is probably one of the most iconic Ubisoft characters out there. You know, I mean, we've got sort of like, you know, you couldn't exactly bring an Assassin's Creed character into Siege, could you? Well, you could, but I don't see how that would work. Yeah, but I don't know when Shankar is getting reworked. Well, he is getting reworked. We have seen some gameplay footage. He's not going to get an elite. He's getting a rework. An elite and rework are two completely different things. So a rework is where they completely change the character, change his weapon, change his gut, everything about him. Just like they've done with maps. You know, the map rework is the fact they change stuff. Things are different, entrances are different. They take some windows away. You know, things change a bit like on Oregon. You can see it here, sort of like small towers completely overhauled to what it was like before. Dining and kitchen are changed. Big tower has essentially changed. Meeting rooms changed, and dorms has changed. All that is completely new, and especially the basement. That's probably the most changeable of Oregon, I'd say.
I think that was the right call for Mint. At best,
down to 15 people, but thank you everyone who has watched, and please subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Please try and get me up to, you know, if we can get to 325 subs today, that'd be really cool. I'm gonna do some kind of a thank you stream or something in the next sort of like however long it might be. I'm not sure when it will be. I've not really streamed before, so I was a little bit nervous to stream for this long, but the response has been really good. So keep an eye on the channel, guys. I'll put an update video at some point. I just sometimes I say I'll do an update and then I forget. Just because other things that go on, you know, recording and shit like that. So
off of skies and hot and cold, likely making the calls. There's not going to be a ton of intel. Eclipse has Mint's back, but he gets taken out by Achieved as this is an aggressive play from the Sledge. The pace of this round just does not seem to abate whatsoever.
306 subscribers. Wow. Just wow. Oh my god. It's overwhelming. I just can't believe I've got finally got over 300 subscribers. It's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing.
So it's going to be even more challenging for Hyper. He swings out and manages to get one pistol.
Got to fix, yeah. What about the sights?
Hyper and Eclipse. They're in a 2v2.
Well, they are changing the sights, Johnny. I just seen your thing.
Love it from both
yeah, they are changing the sights. They're changing the holographic. So that'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Also, the retinals as well on the site. So, like you know, at the minute we only have a red retinal. You can change the retinals to a different color. So, like blue, yellow, green, turquoise. I think maybe as well. You know, all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting. We've got some interesting changes coming. Also, the ping 2.0 as well. I didn't realize before that it would actually show the defender's icon or the operator's icon. So if you ping a mirror window, it will show the mirror window. It will show the mirror icon. It will show her icon.
Ultimately was why Locker's control was lost so
which is just
so early on.
Just
that could have been a little
mind-blowing
for DZ, that's for sure. But they won in the end, and really that's all that matters. Hyper played a big role in that. if in nothing else, from the pressure that he was able to put out in the hallway. He prevented a push in the hall, which would have flanked the Mira inside of Kitchen. So that's a really important play there. Or not the Mira, rather, the Goyo. That's a really important play for the Jaeger in the hall. And Hyper, great job to him. He also managed to get the refrag on his teammate. Now, overall, team effort for DZ, and some amazing play from both teams so far. It seems like the defense has just been able to edge out the attack every round, though, so far. We're only 2 in, and these have been close rounds, so there's time for that to change.
I do like that DZ got a semi-problematic bomb site out of the way, though.
True.
We talked about it a little bit at the start of that round, how, okay, well, the Kitchen is...
just to everyone else who's new joining in the chat, please be friendly in the chat. I did say the rules earlier on, but just to re-say the rules for people who are new who didn't hear me say it. I don't want any sort of politics talk or anything like that. Nothing. I don't want politics because everyone has different opinions when it comes to politics. So I don't want the arguments or the or I wouldn't say arguments, but you can have a disagreement or a different view. So people get what I mean. So I don't want any of that. No discrimination at all towards anyone, including myself. If you do that, I will warn you. If you do it for a second time, so it will be one warning. If you do it for a second time or your first time, it will be a timeout. If you come back in and you do it again, you'll be timed out without a warning. And if you come back in and you do it again after being timed out for the second time, there'll be again no warning and you'll be banned. So that's the rules of the chat. I will update the channel later when I go live. And please respect those rules. And as long as everyone does, we'll all get on fine. I want this to be a nice, friendly, chilled stream. Nothing sort of too overly serious. So just be polite to people, and we'll all get on fine. I don't want to come back and because I'm looking at different things, so I don't want to come back and see multiple arguments because it's not fair.
I think the intentions might be
because I'm monitoring it on my own at the minute. Hopefully, I'm going to have moderators soon who can moderate the chat. So still got 10 people, so thank you guys. So we're going to watch the end of this final. So please stay in the chat.
Hyper taken out of White Stairs.
Continue to talk about what we've just seen.
Not completely lost that control that they need when the push should happen. And Hot and Cold will also have a nitro cell in hand, so he's very ready. And you can see the entire roof above him / floor, whatever you want to call it, is very much like Swiss cheese. He's going to be able to play through it. I don't know if he gets caught. Oh, he sees Achieve, takes him out, but then refragged immediately by Bolo, who will now ascend the White Stairs, realizing that there isn't much time left to work with. He'll get smoked off and just push right in to the shotgun blast of Eclipse. And DZ, a flawless play off of the execute from TSM, reads them like a book. Dark Zero are up 3-0 here on Oregon. This might end up being much quicker than we'd expected.
So I did see that someone said congratulations on 300 subs. I did address that earlier. If you're still in the chat, mate, thank you so much for that. Congratulations. I really appreciate it. It's because of you guys I've got that far. So hopefully other people have subscribed. It just hasn't appeared on my thing yet. Still got 7 people. So that's quite a lot, really. But the fact wow, it's just gone up to 12. Fuck. Yeah, I had 39 here earlier, guys. That was just overwhelming.
Identifying the problems and maneuvering their chess pieces to appropriately face those problems. For example, the roam downstairs. TSM knows they cannot push in when there are roamers downstairs because the C4s from below will be crippling and will pick off far too many players, and the actual engagements won't go their TSM's favor because they don't have enough manpower. TSM knows they can't open up the closet wall because they are aware of the C4 that's being ready to, or that is ready to be thrown by the mute in sight. They know they don't have time to dislodge the mute because.
So I'll still be here, guys. Just I'll be in the chat. So I'm just gonna go quiet for just a minute. Just gonna send some messages and see if I have to make any phone calls or anything to anyone. So I'll be back shortly.
And what I will reiterate now is key here. TSM is adapting to Dark Zero. The way that Dark Zero is playing, where they put their best foot forward, where they take assertive control of everything that's happening. And they don't let their enemy have a word in, or get a word in edgewise. The way that is transpiring, it certainly seems like TSM isn't able to play their own game, and I think that they are feeling stifled.
Stifling is the word that was used earlier on Cafe, actually, to describe Dark Zero, and I think it's very apt here. So I'm glad that you used it as well, because it is. It's like this smothering, slow crushing, like a boa constrictor, just getting tighter and tighter as it seems to go on. Now, obviously, we can look like fools if things change very quickly, and they very well may. I mean, this is going to go to defense for TSM no matter what. Even if it's 6-0 for Dark Zero, TSM will at least have one opportunity to defend, and because of that, their likelihood of winning a round is going to soar. That's just the way that Oregon works. So I suspect that this match will tighten up as we go along, but for right now, Dark Zero has not really looked phased on most of those rounds. Laundry came a little bit close and then fell apart really quickly. The dining defense was largely a fight around kitchen, and now on round number 4, back down to Laundry supply room, you see TSM very narrowly escape a situation that could have been the death knell for this round, as Achieved gets away with 20 HP. But again, Dark Zero gives up nothing in that altercation.
Oh, he doesn't know how close he was. Mint could have actually gotten a pick there. And he's detected that there is someone in the main lobby. That's the, I believe, the Thatcher of Bolo. Yep. And he's going to be trying to hold split. As the Vigil, the drones won't be able to detect him, but the shots will give away his intentions. Clearly, Bolo heard that, and now Mint will be stuck in this corner. But he's content to wait, I'm sure. He has no incentive to peek out of this, and he'll win the fight as Bolo peeks without his gun ADS. Not the second one, though. Chalet will get the refrag. That's important. TSM keep themselves in this round. But that took 2 minutes to clear out those top 2 floors, and Dark Zero have got to be feeling mighty comfortable in their sight right now. With only a little bit of time left on the clock, all they need to do is wait. TSM trying to open up the drop downs to get some entry points, and will accomplish just that. Looks like it'll be a main lobby freezer take here for TSM, as they don't have time to clear out blue anymore.
And one thing that I want to note is that last time Achieved tried to throw those 2 nades in on a Laundry supply take, he wandered into the plume of smoke to do just that. With how low his HP is right now, he's not going to survive should that happen. Oh. And now Chala's going to be low on HP as well, as Eclipse tosses it up and then levels Merc, looking for another on the stairs as he gets flashed out from the hatch. This is going to be Eclipse right now, showing that the best defense is offense, apparently. Grenade goes down, shotgun out, and he'll be able to finish him off. And there you have it. The flurry of kills with 2 from Hot and Cold. DZ 4-0 on one of the most impressive showings we've seen from this team on a map so far this season.
Dark Zero is just playing so dynamically. They're that play inside a freezer, for example, what Eclipse just did is just so uncommon. It's so certain, almost, and odd that it be that. The reason it's odd is 9 times out of 10 in competitive Siege, a mute playing in freezer, once the drop down gets opened, instead of trying to play off the operator's merits, that's the shotgun and the C4 that Eclipse had at his disposal, most players would simply retreat into the site and try to hold freezer from deeper in sight, and don't let the attackers get through the freezer door. Shoot them if they get close to the breach that we made. And that's what I'd say 9 out of 10 times. That's what I would see happen at this level. Eclipse, instead, he throws a C4, which, when you've only got a few seconds left in the round, that's, that time that that Chalet has to spend running away and then running back, that matters. That's significant. And then instead of falling back, after throwing the C4, he realizes, you know what? I got a shotgun and 2 bottlenecks. If I play by the bottom of the staircase, I can force the close engage with anyone who challenges me. And with so little time, I can win this round for my team by simply staying alive at the bottom of the staircase. That on-the-fly thinking from Eclipse, that awareness of the situation, is 10 out of 10.
Eclipse has been around for so long, Michael, that we love to highlight how good he is at fragging and how good he is at just getting kills and all that, but his decision making is something that I think needs to be touted as well. And in this case, I mean, the SAS operators require a decently high level of game knowledge. But, I mean, when you've got a shotgun that kills most things with one shot, and then an SMG-11 that you can use quite effectively at long range, providing you can control its recoil, you do need to juggle those different weapons and understand how that works. And I like that Eclipse didn't give up too much. Now, I think he did technically die at the end, but it didn't really matter because the round was over. So in that instance, the decision-making from Eclipse was largely flawless. Now, this is really brazen. They walk right up to the mirror window, and I think they managed to get it off. There was an impact that seemed to get tossed out from Hot and Cold, but it misses. You should have clear entry to the B-bomb site now, and Skies will be the one to watch that cross with Hot and Cold a little bit deeper in the B-bomb site, and presumably has a rotate in a meeting as well, as we are now about halfway through round number 5, and it is a new bomb site from Dark Zero. It's going to be meeting instead of dining, but with kitchen being the same.
Well, they had other options here, but I like this. Now, that wall getting opened up by TSM was really big. I'm impressed by how they managed that. Chala's left alone here, which means that nobody is able to capitalize on that air jab detonating. The reason Chala is alone is because TSM have rotated for a tower take. They want to take tower and then pinch between it and cafeteria. Now, it's cool that the Nomad is the one alone because she's going to be able to control the entire area by herself with the air jabs. One of them being spent is costly, though. So less that you have available. An aggressive play once again from Eclipse. Hyper will get a pick. Not sure where, but he manages it. Looks like that's the sledge. Gone. Big kill there. Now, DZ is still in a good spot to hold this out. They don't necessarily need to rush right now, but Skies gets aggressive by the B bomb site and actually gets shut down thanks to the air jab catching him on the rotation. Chala pistol out, needs to reload. C4 will miss. Chala's doing a great job of distracting his opponents and wasting their utility. Geo gets one on meeting as he tries to push it through the breach, and down goes Hyper as he gets too aggressive to Chala, who's still alive on that flank. Clips, beautiful shot onto tower. He's nullified that pressure. Shotgun out. He's going to win this fight. All but certainly. He'll finish off the Zofia, leaving Chala in a 1v1. Low HP and 3 kills in the round. Chala will be a hero if he wins this. But with only 4 seconds left, he has to plant and he has to stick it. 000 and information. Mint can't lose it. Dark Zero will take the round, and they confidently put that one up on the score sheet.
I don't even really have the words for what we're seeing right now from Dark Zero versus TSM. It really does seem, I mean, yes, I always need to say, well, it's Oregon on defense and they're doing well. But goodness, it does not appear like TSM has showed up for this match today. They started out strong on Cafe. Did those 2 clutches break them? That's the question that I have right now, and I don't have an answer for it. It certainly seems like that. After Hot and Cold's clutch in round 7, TSM have not won a single round. Let that sink in.
That was a while ago too. That was
like over an hour and a half ago. Now, mind you, there was the reveal panel in between, but since round 6, their very final defense, and mind you, DZ has been on defense for all of those rounds since. TSM has yet to win a round on attack, period, in this matchup. And they have not now won a round in 10 rounds. 10 consecutive rounds without a victory for TSM.
Please stick around, guys. I know I've been off the chat. Just been looking at my phone, trying to monitor the chat and send other messages. I'm still here.
DZ equalized. I don't know what is going on with this TSM team right now. There is something the matter.
I've been watching the game. TSM are just absolutely getting completely and utterly destroyed by Dark Zero right now.
That TSM is unable to match at the moment. I don't think that's up for dispute, but at the same time, there is something wrong with TSM. They are just not showing up in the way that we had expected.
I'm not sure whether or not maybe to go and do my stream with 300 subs now and just stop streaming after this game.
The series is not over. But it is getting to the
do you guys want to see me do something else, or do you want me to continue watching this? It's down to what you want me to do. If you want me to play a different game, I can happily do that.
They're not aware that he's in tower, I guess.
Just let me know. I can't stream Siege because I only have it on PS4.
He shouldn't have, but he did.
It's not easy to stream on PS4.
Big kill there for Hyper. We're in a situation right now where the precipice of match point, Hyper should be dead. T3 control should be in favor of TSM.
But I've got other games that I can stream, like I could stream like a
but now he's alive,
Resident Evil 1 or something like that, maybe. If you guys want to see me do that, that kind of thing.
They might have to try for a totally different area.
Got a game I could play.
On a different window.
So just let me know what you want me to do. If you don't want to watch this now, just let me know, and we'll stop after this game.
He's winning right now. He'll hear people coming in below him. And Hyper knows he doesn't need to take that fight. Nades in the hands of Achieved. It's the impacts, though, that will land underneath Hyper from Zofia. Lots of damage done. Here comes the nade. They'll finally get him. But I gotta say, that's certainly worth it for Hyper.
So if you include Gio and Chalet dying there, you used 1 frag grenade, 2 Zofia explosives, 1 Zofia concussion, 2 exothermic charges, and 2 smokes were all essentially lost just to get Hyper, plus 2 minutes of the clock. Ugh. That is an absurd amount of utility that was wasted. Now, if TSM can pivot off of that, as they've done some damage to Mint earlier, they've done some damage to Skies, if they can pivot off of that, Michael, and manage to make an execute happen, that will be huge, but they will have to do so without the ability of a hard breacher. So you're going to have to just simply go for gunfights at this point. And given the HP of Mint and Skies, you're more likely to maybe win those, but you're going to have to wade into the Viper's nest in order to do that. Eclipse taking some damage on Repel, and DZ knows that they're somewhat pinned down. Perfect time for a toxic canister to go out, I suppose. There's still 2 more left from Skies to use. Frag grenade waiting for Achieved in a default spot, but it does not connect. There's nobody playing inside of kids' dorms, so Skies will hold off on this deployable shield. Merc is gone to a C4, and DZ's advantage continues to grow. Bolo and Achieved will now need to barrel into the bomb site with 5 seconds left, and Bolo's advance will come from Master over towards Trophy, making a bunch of noise. He swings and gets the kill onto Eclipse, but time runs out. It's a flawless half. 6-0, and we get the hot and clap on our screens. DZ, match point, major point.
Please let me know, guys. If you want me to do something else,
that round comes
I've got other things I can stream. If you want me to stream something else, in celebration of me getting over 300 subs. If you haven't already, guys, please help me out. Help me out. Help me out even more. Let's get me past 306. Let's get me to like 315, 325. You know, let's make the target a target worth doing.
Now, one little tidbit, and I'm going to credit it to Jesse. He's the one telling me in my ear right now. TSM has never lost Oregon since the rework. They're 4-0 on this map. Post-Oregon rework, of course. And, well, it looks like it's about to change. Looks like that's gonna be different. This is their map. They wanted to go here. They want to be here. And Dark Zero, on the first half, have absolutely clobbered TSM. And guys, this is it. Dark Zero wins 1 more round over the next
more people jumping rounds. In. Just let more people jump in. Just want to know if anyone wants me to do something else, or if people wanted me to continue to stream this.
Dark Zero tweeted out about how they're building their new.
I don't mind either way.
And it's one of the most ambitious.
It's getting good. I'm not going to do it until after this match anyway.
And Canadian tweeted out something about.
Please let me know.
Needing a trophy for the trophy room. Well, they are 1 round away from getting it. And I mean, technically, Dark Zero has never won a big series. Yes, this is a team that has been around for ages. Mint and Hot and Cold are 2 players, Michael, who have been in this scene for half a decade and have yet come up empty-handed so many times. It's wild to think about. The DZ now stands about 2-ish minutes away from a glory that has eluded them for nearly 5 years.
Parker, you know what I think it is? You know what I think is making the major difference here for Dark Zero? What's allowing them to play this way? I think Dark Zero has shifted from relying on the merits of their plan to allowing the plan to further facilitate the merits.
I can't believe that. This is not just being beaten. This is being absolutely destroyed.
Really shines a light.
The fact they haven't lost on this map since the rework
individual players have.
is just mind-blowing.
Michael, this was a team that squeaked into the major.
Yeah. Yeah,
a single round against SQ could have meant DZ's absence in this event.
They've changed clearly, Parker, because they've remained consistently as dominant as they're appearing to be right now through the entire playoffs. It's just been ridiculous. Now, it's not done yet. TSM could win this. It's 5v5 with a minute left on a basement defense Oregon. This is still very comebackable here for TSM. Defense Oregon, guys. This is a very defender-sided map, one of the most. So just keep that in your brain.
1 minute left for DZ to be able to pull this one off, and they're going to sit center stage for the remainder of these rounds, as the only way that they relinquish match point is through overtime. And the push from Dark Zero will come over towards Pillars. TSM has been somewhat shaken off of this position, and Geo will be the very first man to confront the angry rages of DZ. And it might end up being the Blitz of Mint, now positioned over by Blue. Time is going to continue to tick away here, and it will be TSM's greatest ally, as Dark Zero still on drone, still trying to get intel, achieved as well as Geo trying to swing, and it'll work out effectively. Achieved moves on up, he guns down Hyper. The big question mark is going to be this Blitz. There's one for Eclipse, shield knocked away, and it's a match for the ages, and continuing to swing.
We're down to 2 people now. Just me and one person.
And he'll charge towards Merc. He knows that there's 2 in, and he goes for the flash. Merc completely blind. Mint is the last one down. It's Bolo against Hot and Cold and Eclipse. Gun out, he takes one down, shotgun, and he'll finish the round. Bolo keeps his team's chances alive. Relief for TSM. They win their first round in almost 2 entire maps worth of games played, Michael. This is crazy, but TSM is finally on the board. We'll head into round number 8.
Bolo, a profound breath of fresh air, a splash of cold water on a hot day for TSM. That was so close, too close.
Okay, so as people have left the chat, there's no one in the chat watching. I'm gonna stop the stream after this
There were a
game,
couple moments
and
of hesitation there for DZ.
so
went for the execution.
yeah,
that ended up being.
I'll be playing. I'm gonna stop the stream after this game.
Mostly it comes down to, in my opinion, the blue pressure.
Because there was loads of people earlier. I mean, I don't know if they're going to show anything else about Tachanka or anything. I'll see, and we'll see what happens. They might show Tachanka, but I don't know. So.
In a heads-up engagement, if you're taking a blitz in one-on-one, charging right at your enemy, Blitz is fantastic for that. But you know what he's not great at? Walking into a crossfire in bunker or blue. So he hesitated, he needed information, they got the information, but it cost DZ 15 to 10 seconds. And those seconds ultimately allowed TSM the freedom to play safer in the site. Great job to TSM, great job to Bolo for coming up huge for his team, not only in that round, but look at the scoreboard right now in this whole map.
And somebody who is still, I think, relatively new, we would say, to
certainly.
competitive play. I think it was Pengu who was actually complimenting Bolo and how he was able to thrive as a content creator and then stepping into the spotlight. And I think it's very fair to say that TSM doesn't make it to this matchup against Dark Zero without Bolo. And without Bolo is what TSM is going to have to play for the remainder of the 2 minutes and 30 seconds, as he's the opening pick. TSM, unfortunately, well, they're on a collision course and it's in the wrong way. Mint takes a little bit of damage. They're inside a small tower. There's a Dorm's defense from TSM, and DZ's assembled over by small tower, and we'll look to clear out anybody playing inside of the kitchen meeting hall area. We know that there's a couple there. Achieved is one of them. And you'll watch and wait to see what the anchors are capable of doing. Right now, it looks like Chalet is the lone man sitting on site.
Ooh, impact behind Achieved and a stun to boot. You can see that Achieved is very trapped inside a kitchen. He might be able to get some frags, as he's not been collapsed upon just yet, but the awareness is in there for DZ. They know what they're dealing with. Oh, wait, have they veered off of the clear in kitchen? Did they not know where he was? It's possible. There is, of course, a mute and a Mozzie in play. It's possible the drones did not get the full information. Nade goes out, so it's possible. I think DZ is aware. They just aren't confident in the clear. They don't want to take the fight too directly, it seems. So still a chance for TSM as their roamers are persisting inside of security, but there is definitely a lot of manpower ready to take that fight. They got to be worried about Freezer, though. And that rotation actually was bad for Achieved because it means that DZ knows there was someone playing at top Freezer. No potential for a free pick there for the Jaeger, who was already positioned there.
Final minute of action between these two teams, and TSM has weathered this storm quite effectively. They take down Skies and put them back at an even man count as the sprint from DZ happens right in front of our eyes. Hyper falls, and Mint on 1 HP as he's inside a kid's dorms with Hibana in tow. Likely trying to protect as Hot and Cold will need to go for the plant, but it's Hot and Cold all alone. 1v4, TSM, they fire back quite effectively, bearing 9 in hand, but only one will get taken down by Hot and Cold. The comeback beginning to happen in front of our eyes for TSM. They've got a long road to walk, but they're at least hoofing it for now. 2 in a row on defense for TSM.
There was a crucial moment in that round that was the, I think, catalyst to success for TSM. And that moment was where Dark Zero opted not to fully clear out downstairs. They could have probably
people rejoining the chat. Got 2 people in here, including me. Just want to know if you guys want me to continue streaming the final, or if you want me to do something else. I've just reached 300, or over 300 subs.
The reason they needed to clear out below.
So I just want to know whether or not people want me to continue streaming this or to stream something else, like Resident Evil or something like that. I can set something up.
Now,
and then hopefully we'll get to work.
Despite TSM having control, but it put the Blitz on low HP, so he was not very
know what people
valuable
think.
in future engagements. He died to a single bullet from the Vigil. And DZ started to fall like flies as soon as they decided to go for the site take, because they hadn't fully cleared out below. There were too many other angles to deal with, too many places where there was a TSM player putting in 1 bullet, 2 bullets on each of the players on DZ. Death by 1,000 cuts in the end, and TSM keep themselves just barely in it. It's just barely, though, really. Again, Dark Zero could at any moment lock this out. 4 more rounds for TSM before they get to that OT.
This is, I almost get the feeling that this isn't over anywhere near as soon as we think it's going to be.
I hope not. This is a really good match.
This is giving me that jittery feeling where it feels like.
Still can't believe I had 39 people watching the stream earlier, just during the reveal. That was just mind blowing.
I don't think people understand the odds.
Really good, really awesome, just overwhelming.
And they swept the half. That doesn't happen all that often.
So I probably will stop it after this, unless we get the Chichanko reveal, which I don't think we are going to get. I think it would have been earlier, but you never know. We might get surprised.
My goodness, the luck on Bolo. He's under fire now inside of dorms. The setup from TSM is going to have to only be half done. And finished off from the back now. Bolo's down as Dark Zero jumps out to a huge lead here. An answer back, though, from Achieved, but he's finished off. Dark Zero up 4v2. It's Chalet and Geo just to try and hold this down on a meeting hall defense. This is not where you want to be if you are TSM. Still 1 minute and 40 seconds left, Michael.
This is certainly favored to DZ, but we've seen heroics before. The one thing that is scary for TSM right now is that Mint is on Blitz. Mint has historically, I think, been, if not the best Blitz player in the world, one of, certainly. And it's really hard when you have low manpower to deal with the shield operator. Yes, they have the gas canisters on Chala, but that's just too situational. The lack of crossfires are going to give so much freedom to Mint. He will be able to force one of these engagements in all likelihood, and he should be able to lock this out almost by himself. And that's not even counting the overall man advantage right now. It's scary for Chala and Geo.
I've said weathered this storm, I think 3 times so far today. This is the storm before the storm at this point. No calm at all, especially not with DZ still having tons of firepower at their disposal. And trying to chip away at the advantage that they have with TSM, knowing how dire these circumstances are. The world around Chala literally collapsing as he might wander into Mint's open arms. He peeks around the doorway the wrong way. He's as good as dead. 25 HP is all he'll get away with, and he'll walk wounded for the remainder. But he's down. It's just Geo in a 1v4. This is the match on the line. This is the championship on the line. Can Geo pull off one of the greatest 1v4 clutches that we've ever seen? Good trigger discipline. He'll need to drop, and he does so. He sees the blitz drawing all of the fire away. Diffuser goes down successfully. The odds of him winning getting even harder. He's flashed, and Dark Zero turns the lights out on TSM as DZ are your North American major champions.
Whoa, that was over quickly.
For Dark Zero, congratulations to them. An absolute trouncing. Not much competition put up there from TSM. And partially, sure, I think TSM had a rough match. Yeah, after those 2 clutches, they seemed to maybe fall asleep a little bit. But certainly, Dark Zero played a better game.
Well, Dark Zero are the champions.
Seen from them before. That is peak DZ, and it is scary.
An investment pays off, Michael, and the patience and faith of a hungry organization, well, they get rewarded with a huge victory here. The best team in North America, and surely one of the best teams in the world. They have been since the 6 Invitational. They have proven that that was not a one-off. That was no fluke. They're the best team in NA today, and they made mincemeat out of TSM. That was just an absolute wallop to TSM's confidence, to TSM as a squad, and Dark Zero has just stormed their way through this entire major after very narrowly making it in the first place. What a way to silence your critics. What a way to shut up the haters. And they did just that in very dominant fashion.
You know, we've always wondered when DZ was going to be able to solidify their confidence, and I think that victory and the title of North American Major Champions might just be the thing that does it.
That's it for us, though. Another major in the books, Michael. It is always a pleasure to be at your side, though this time we are a little bit farther apart than usual. We've got the analysts to go through the victory of Dark Zero and all of the major over the last 3 days, so we'll toss it over to them.
Aw, Kexon and Taro, fantastic job casting as always. Now we bring it back to the analyst desk, and dude, Dark Zero, I mean, I cannot right now.
Finally.
That was a blowout.
Finally.
Well done.
A blowout. Who is this? What is this team? Jesse, they're 100% deserving of this title. Like, I have nothing else to say.
They definitely are. I mean, this team has now made a name for themselves. Everyone's going to be watching this team.
No doubt about it. They clearly put their nose to the grindstone during that break between the qualifier and the major. You can tell they worked on so much new stuff, and they brought it all out here. Even in the grand finals, they had a ton of like really intricate strategies they had practiced time and time again. They executed them perfectly. Everybody says Dark Zero, they're inconsistent. They can choke. They don't do things that they should all the time. They don't follow their strategies when they need to. But today, this whole weekend, they were on fire. They were showing up. They were playing to their peak consistently. And you got to give them a ton of credit. I thought here on Oregon, you know, this is TSM's best map. This is a map they've never lost, ever. So for Dark Zero to come in and have a 6-0 half, only drop 2 rounds in the entire matchup, you saw so much new stuff. They played a lot of Mute Mozzie Vigil, which we didn't see defending on the basement. That meeting hole without the rotations and the Goyo and the Mira, that was super interesting. There were some clutch plays at the end of that first half too, but really Dark Zero, well-earned, well-deserved victory.
All right, Veli, Dark Zero hype. I want to hear it from you.
Dark
Come
Zero,
on.
you want the hype?
Bring it.
Dark Zero, they're finally on top of NA, baby. It's about damn time I've been waiting for this. Coming into the qualifier to even get here. Look, we're talking about a Dark Zero with what? A 40% success rate on defense? Unacceptable. The qualifier came. That 40-ish%, that low 40%, turned into like a 48%. I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 46 or 48%. Now they're over 50%. They're getting better in every category known to man. Now, also, take a look at Hot and Cold, take a look at Eclipse. Yes, we talk about Hyper and Skies all damn day long, but those two in Skies stepped up. They deserve this win. It's big, it's major, and it's good to see Dark Zero finally just have all that hard work pay off at the end.
Dark Zero. How many people had this team at the bottom of the bracket? How many people literally built their bracket? Dark Zero lose the first game, second game they're out, they get last. Everybody had Dark Zero losing. This is not the favorites. This is a huge underdog story, and it just shows how much work they've put in. I mean, they silenced everybody this tournament.
Huge underdog story.
It's me. I'm everybody.
Huge underdog story. But, I mean, to win in this fashion, I mean, y'all, this is the grand finals. I don't know what happened to TSM, and, you know, Veli, you talked to Poja, man, and he said, like, we're going to be awake today. Not the case. They looked dead asleep. I do not know what happened there.
I don't think they were awake, Jackie, and it was pretty unfortunate to see. I felt bad for Gio because Gio on Hard Breach is not able to make the plays that he's usually able to do. But also, Merc, he woke up around round number 6 when he got his first kill. That was just awful because they rely so much on Merc to be that solid entry fragger. Merc, the ball of fire, you know. Merc that gets the ace against Dark Zero when he comes back from a hiatus from Twitter, right? We didn't see that Merc. It was pretty disappointing, but just Dark Zero smothered those boys. But you know what? TSM, they're going to come back better than ever, I believe, and I can't wait for stage 2.
Yeah. I think it's like so disappointing for TSM too, because it's like they had the upper bracket game where they looked like they just Dark Zero got the best of them, and then mentally it slipped away from them. This time as well, they played well on Cafe, but Dark Zero still pulled out the win. They got the best of them. They come into this one. I thought Dark Zero played really good. They had some really good defensive strategies, but TSM still should have been able to like string together a couple of rounds, get the ball rolling, have a solid foundation to build off in the second half. They had some good rounds in the second half. I liked the strats that they brought out with their own Vigil and Mozzie combo that they were bringing, but obviously it wasn't enough.
So throughout the season with TSM, I felt like they had been a team that adapted well. They were very creative. We didn't see that. Why do you think that was, Veli?
I don't know. Maybe they were flustered. Maybe just
mental, yeah.
Listen, when your back's against the wall and you're facing a DZ we ain't never seen before, you know, sometimes things that you prepped and planned before is gonna go the way you want it to be. Now, the thing about TSM, they didn't adapt well at all, and the most notable moment, Kix was calling it out when it happened. Hyper and P2. The fact that he was able to get the kills that he got and stalled out TSM, that was insane. There was no adaptation. It just seemed like one by one, they were trying to kill one of the best players in the game. That's not acceptable, and that can happen.
Yeah, and I thought there was a lot of like really good attempts at adaptation. You saw the meeting hold where TSM, they were pushing from diamond.
Alright, so I don't know if everyone wants me to continue playing this, but they're just talking about the match. I'm not sure how long this is going to go on for.
It ends up losing, but they still deal a bunch of damage to the Nomad. Then Eclipse just holds down the fort. Totally
it was good from what I was watching that game.
So even when
Dark Zero was just absolutely dominant.
They tried to make things happen. They identified the hold from Dark Zero and tried to address it in a smarter way. Dark Zero had that counter adaptation to read what they were doing and shut it down.
You know what the thing is
but
adaptation?
Got 4 people in the chat, including me. Just
the thing about adaptation,
or 5 people in the chat. One of them obviously is me. I'm monitoring it. If you guys can just let me know if you want me to stream anything else after this. I'm probably gonna have a break. If people want me to stream, I will. But I probably will stream tomorrow if I do stream anything. But just let me know.
Listen, Dark Zero's got a playbook. When things go off the rails, they go off the rails. Like, they cannot refocus. But Jesse and Veli, you both just said the counter adaptation. Like, where did they learn this? Where did this come from? Is it confidence, or how did they hammer this out? Because that was the problem with this team. It has been remedied.
Yeah, one of the most intelligent teams in NA, and they finally, you know, they learned how to put that to great use because the heavy criticism and the big losses that were easily avoidable by them, they learned from it. And that's why Mint wasn't happy in that interview with you at the end of the season, because they knew what they needed to work on. Now, when one of the most intelligent teams, I'm going to say top 2 in all of NA, maybe the top 1.
Yeah.
The moment they put their brains to use along with their gunplay, that is just a deadly combination. That's what made Space Station the best.
Yeah. I would say that like they are top 1, just to clarify. Like they won the major. They've done it.
Tell them, Jesse.
They're the top team, and I think mentally that's got to be a big part of it. Their strats have been insane. I think it was so clear how much homework they did in this matchup. There was one play where they got aggressive on visual or on someone. They tossed the C4 right as the attic wall gets opened up, and Chalet dies on the tower stairs. And it's like this was seen in previous matches. TSM, they open this wall. They have their thermite, open it, run out the window, and Chalet's always sitting on those staircases. They knew what was going to happen because they watched TSM, because TSM's played this map a million times and they've always won it. But Dark Zero clearly did their homework when watching TSM on this map. That was really impressive from me.
And one thing that we've repeatedly said is that this team does their homework, that they prep, and they're so smart, right? I almost feel like at this tournament, at the NA Major, they got out of their own heads. They stopped overthinking and they had faith in their skill. And they were just reacting. Like, I think maybe sometimes they were overthinking things, and finally we just saw them be like, dude, we're just gonna do. Like, we're just gonna do our thing. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Like, we saw it in the individual roams as well. We criticized it at first, but then once it started to work, we were like, okay, you know, Dark Zero, they're letting off that heavy step-by-step playbook, and their playbook basically looks like, you know, whatever happens, happens, but then we're going to frag out and then try to hold down the fort, and it was beautiful to see. Something I'm definitely not used to.
Yeah, and I wonder if, like, having that pressure sort of off of Hyper contributed to some of that. You know, I felt like all the players were playing better. They were getting on that kill board more often, and because of it, you know, their plays were more confident. They trusted each other more. It really did seem like that was a big motivational boost, that every single player could look back on their performance and say, like, yeah, I got kills here, there, and there, more than just contributing in like a supportive role.
Okay, gentlemen, this is just coming into the studio now, and apparently Dark Zero is ready for the winner interview, so we're going to go and head over to them. Oh, the smiles, Jesse, I totally feel your vibe right now, but ladies and gentlemen, we have our North American major winner. It was a season of ups and downs. They fought through a grueling qualifier to get here. They finished 4th in stage 1, but they united and shocked teams and tore through them. I'm giving you a round of applause. Oh my, we got a little fireworks for y'all. Okay, Mint, talk to me, man. How does this feel? This has been such a journey. I cannot imagine the emotions y'all are feeling right now.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't even know all the emotions that we are feeling right now, and most of us are still so high on adrenaline. We're ready to play some more maps, and unfortunately we didn't get them, so I don't know how we're going to get all this Red Bull out of us, but honestly, feeling really great. That one was definitely all the fuel added to our fire from all the doubters, everything that was said about us, all the Pro League players that think they're analysts and know anything about our team. You know, it just helped fuel us for this.
And I want to give you all a proper introduction. Obviously, the man speaking here is Mint, but we got Skies, we got Hot and Cold, we got Hyper, and we got Eclipse. You know, we got to talk about Eclipse a little bit here. I mean, obviously, y'all are a fantastic team, but man showed up today. I mean, did you guys, what was in that Red Bull today? What's going on with Eclipse there?
Honestly, never doubting Tyler. Once he has his gushers, he's good to go. But yeah, that definitely played a huge role for us in the entire tournament. I think everyone pretty much...
Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. I know there are a couple of people still watching in the chat, so who have stuck with me to the end. I know it's been a little while since the reveal. Probably about an hour.
About the criticism. Let's talk about the haters. You know, we had a video of TSM and they're like, shut down Hyper. Shut down Hyper. That's all you need to do. And they said that you are not a team that adapts well. I mean, you just shut everybody up. Y'all just won the grand finals in a blowout. How does it feel to come this far? And talk to me about the improvements that y'all have made this season.
A lot of ups and downs this season, a lot of slumps that we thought we were in, a lot of like late nights of us being up super late trying to figure out what is going on with our team and how to change it. I wish some of that stuff was recorded, looking back on it now. But yeah, it's just when we finally figured out role changes, obviously we were the best attacking team in the league, and we were the worst defensive team in the league. So it was just pretty much a lot of talks about like how the heck do we fix our defense. We knew if we can get our defense up, that we would destroy everybody. And then obviously adding back a lot of Thank you. Adding back a lot of things that,
That's cool. Just a little massage on the back.
Blitz that map felt really good to just run over TSM with that, and then just the aggression on our defense. But yeah, like I said, everyone that's doubted us, honestly, just gave us fuel to the fire. Like we just stayed up later, we worked harder, and that's why we're here, and that's why they're not. So.
Mint, last time I spoke with you, y'all had won the qualifier. I was very excited for you, and you literally had your head in your hands. Like, you were dejected, you were despondent. How does it feel to see the progress that y'all made in this 2 weeks? I mean, personally, I saw how much affected you. So, like, how does it feel now to be here?
Well, I mean, looking back at that, I mean, I don't know why I was so disappointed. Maybe Sonics really are the second best team in NA. They put up way more of a fight than SSG and TSM did this entire tournament. Maybe Seph's onto something there, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, honestly, those 2 weeks really rough, but really proud of this team. I love this team. Everyone took that time to really like refine their craft. Everyone was just more focused. It's a complete turnaround from where we were 2 weeks ago.
This is a Dark Zero that we have never, ever seen before. Y'all looking fantastic. Last question. Anything you want to say to the boys behind you? Anything you want to say to the fans?
Anything you guys want to say?
Hand it over to Todoroki. Hot and cold.
Hello.
Hi.
All I wanted to say is just good night.
Okay. Thanks for that.
What a response!
To all the fans and supporters, we worked hard for this and we earned it. I'll pass that to Tyler now.
Okay. Here we go, Eclipse. I can't wait to hear from him.
Paul streams at twitch.tv/hyperr6. Give him a follow.
Okay. And to wrap
Alex
this
doesn't want to.
Okay,
Alex
Alex
doesn't want to
talk. I think he's on his phone. He
appreciates-
may be tweeting.
Yes, he appreciates all the fans. This honestly feels great, and yeah, just appreciate everything.
All right, gentlemen, go enjoy that victory. Huge congratulations. Let's bring it back to the analyst desk. I heard Veli giggling in the background. I knew he was just cracking up during that whole thing. But again, huge congratulations to Dark Zero, Grand Finals winner. Wow, that was fun. That was very fun.
That was a great interview.
nice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Mint talk like that ever. It was great. Like, you know, he let it be known. That's why we're here.
Excuse
Other
me.
people aren't, you know,
I just realised my mic was still on. God, that wasn't very nice, was it?
I haven't seen a clip talk.
Oh, it's alright.
I've never heard a clip stop.
No one was in the chat. Just
And then
me.
it's just like, go follow Hyper. I was like,
Everyone's gone. I'm on my own. Little old me.
here. Oh my goodness. But
the Sonic shout out.
I know.
Oh my
But you know,
God.
I did really want to ask them one more question, but we ran out of time. But y'all, can we just talk about how good the NA is right now? I mean, this was such a shock. The major just like, who put TSM and Dark Zero for this grand finals? Who did that? I mean, like any team. There's just so much potential here. Talk to me about that, guys.
Yeah.
Jesse,
I mean,
is it a hot take if I say the top 5 in NA can compete with anybody around the world?
Alright, well, guys, I think they're just going to be chatting now. I've seen the interview. I'm going to leave the stream here. So thank you to everyone who watched. Those who are watching later on YouTube, thank you very much. Everyone who watched live on stream, thank you very much. To all the new subscribers, welcome to the channel and thank you for subscribing. You finally got me to over that line of 300, so I'm so grateful for that. But that's me done for now. I might stream later on.
Gosh, we love those boys so much. They are fantastic. So many amazing.
It might be over in a minute anyway. Let's just give it a sec.
We want to get into our Corsair play of the day. Any guesses? What do you guys think? What are you thinking?
I think I'm gonna guess Hyper's 1v3 clutch, defending reading and
Well, I'll leave the stream, but I'm gonna go quiet.
Let's roll the tape. And our Corsair play of the day is, I'm going to give it a drum roll. Haven't ever done that, but yeah.
All right.
Oh, this
was such a filthy play.
Yeah,
Hot and cold.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to say it. This is what I wanted to say actually before you threw it to this. And I'm so happy he got to play today. We talk a lot about Hyper. We talk a lot about Eclipse. We talk a lot about everybody. If I had to name an MVP, hot take, maybe, I'm going to say Han Colt. For someone in his role, in positions that he plays, the impact he had on rounds were just, like, it was just filthy. It was amazing. He should have had opportunities like that, but he made it happen.
That was a nuts play for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all of them played absolutely fantastic.
Lights out.
So, you know, really quickly, we do want to thank our sponsors. All of us, Jesse's got his laptop on the way, but very, very much loving.
Support the winner. Support the champs. They're Malibu. Listen, they won. They won, so we do this, Jackie.
I got the flip-flops on, so you know what? I'm right there with you. I'm like,
support the champs.
But yes, of course, Dark Zero, big thank you. Big congratulations to them. Big thank you to all of our sponsors. Huge thank you. Jesse, Veli, I miss you guys. I mean, it's at least we can chat with each other. And Jess Brohart, amazing addition to the team. We love her to pieces. Our casters, Blue, Stokes, Kicks, and Taro, my boys, love you to pieces. My crew, oh my God, you guys are fantastic. They're throwing their arms in the air. They are clapping. Woo. Yes, Veli, what's up?
Can I say one bit? I just want to give a shout out to the chat.
Of course.
We had a major that was online. And to all the viewers at home, trust me, this wouldn't be possible without you all and a production team. I know this has been weird. I know it's been a little bit crazy. Continue to support every single region that we have. The EU major is going to start soon, so make sure you catch that. And also, I just want you all to make a promise to me because I'm going to make the same promise to you all. When COVID is over and we're at our first major international LAN, everybody better go the hell off and make as much noise as possible. It's making an event that we will never forget, but I want to thank you all for tuning in still. We love you guys so much. You have no idea.
So much. Jesse, I got to let you sound off if we let Veli say his things. Like,
say your thing, Jesse.
I think the support this whole season has been amazing to all the players and to us as well on the desk. I think that the fans are always like the heart and soul of Rainbow Six, so to see them coming out, even in these really tough times, is amazing. Everybody, as Veli said, better get loud when we finally get our LANs back. You better hunt out Veli when you go to LAN and you give him a big kiss because he wants it. And he wants all the hugs and kisses from every single fan. So make sure you bombard him with those, please.
Except Chowder.
Oh my gosh. Wow. How dare you? Oh my gosh, calling them out there. Also, again, I know we've been promoting the merch. We have some awesome merch from Ubisoft, and then Challenger League signups. Like, this could be a reality for you. Like, you see these pro players here, that could be you, y'all. So, all right, gentlemen, fantastic weekend. And just like they were saying, we love you all at home, like, so much. Like, you make us feel complete. You make this home for all of us. Like, I'm getting low-key a little bit emotional here. So we love you all.
Don't cry,
I'm not
Jackie.
gonna cry, but we love you all so much, and thank you so much for joining us for the North American Major. We will see you soon. Stage 2, just around the corner. All right. Love you all. Have a wonderful day, evening.
Alright, there we go, guys. That's the end. I've streamed the whole thing. I wasn't expecting to do that, but definitely worth it. Well, we're just about to stop the stream, but I'm thinking about streaming again in a minute just to celebrate the 300 subscribers. Not quite sure what we're going to be doing yet, but finally got that milestone out of the way, got that 300 subscriber, well, over 300 subscribers. Never expected that to happen today of all days, but I really appreciate everyone who joined the stream. Thank you so much. I know you really enjoyed it. There was a lot of good comments in there. Everyone kept it friendly. That's all I ask. But with that being said, guys, thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video. Well, I'll see you soon, shortly, maybe in a bit. See you later, guys.